Oh, I didn't do the opening thing. Oh well, we started late anyways. Welcome to Snowfood Dungeons Incorporated for our ongoing Saturday game. Apologies if you were expecting one last week. There were some last minute changes that caused it to be skipped, but don't worry, it's still happening. It's here now. Uh, we have our games on Friday, Saturday, and Dresden on Sunday. Uh, And before we get into the game tonight, I will let Sam take over with his always well prepared messages.
Yeah, I was almost so well prepared. I got all the links up to do the stuff and put them in the chat, and forgot that in the meantime I'd found that link to the Thomas the Tank Engine / break stuff mashup and nearly posted that instead. So that would have been a very strong start. Right, there you go. Link in the chat. If you're watching this on a VOD, it's Instagram /Rose Carver Berry. Go check her out. She's the channel artist. There's no character art on this screen, but there will be in the break for the Friday campaign. She's doing the art for this campaign now. It's great, really good. Like, you can go to Fiverr and spend a fiver on the art, but it looks like you spent a fiver on it. So I'd rather you go to her and spend money. I can hear myself in duplicate, and I hate my voice. You can go to her and spend your money with her, and she's great, super collaborative, really good, high quality, excellent standard, all the rest of it. Go check her out. She's mega and a lovely person. Also, worth shilling for is 31 Gallium in the stream right now with the buns. And why is my throat dying already? Is this not going to be a good night?
Oh no.
Oh,
Drink some
no.
water.
All right, there we go. Yeah, I know. The second we start, my throat gunks up. I was fine before. Uh, she plays like variety and League of Legends streams. Is fun, is cool, nice community. Go check it out. Really good. And we also have Dungeon Master Designs in the room. Great YouTube channel full of Dungeons and Dragons based content that's really good. Uh, Ninja Cat is here, isn't it? The streamer. Yeah, that's you. There we go. Do your link for me real quick. Your name.
It's the Ninja Cat 26.
The Ninja Cat 26. Go check her out. Really fun times. Colin Eaglehoff is here. He's going to be a dad. That's his plug done. And I'm great. Let's go ahead and play some D&D.
All right.
Oh, also follow the channel if you're watching this and you haven't followed. It really helps. If you have followed and you would like to use your Twitch subscription, Twitch Prime subscription, boo, drop it here. Why not? Why spend it on someone big when they don't need it? When you can support small artists from the grassroots up, it helps us more than you can imagine. So cheers for that. Have a sword.
Thank you for that, Sam. I enjoyed that you did actually start strong and then it just fell apart as it went. But
yeah,
well done and thank you anyway.
No worries. Have a C major 7 chord, second inversion.
All right. With that, we will get into the game. So last time, after arriving in the Kingdom of Moss to act as emissaries on behalf of King Elwyn, accompanying the Princess Fianna, you made your way into the capital, whereupon you discovered that things were darker than you possibly imagined, which led to conflicts with the seeming leader of the dark sect within the kingdom, named Elias. After defeating him and then venturing on to combat the dragon Macathide, leading to the recovery of the Night Diamond from the vaults within the castle itself, and coming to blows with both the powerful wizards of Slain and Plukros, one of whom managed to escape, swearing that he would remember you, and the other falling by your hand, and his bloodied remains being deposited before his former companions.
This one right
here. You then all went to go gather yourselves, as it looked as though the forces of good seemed to be regaining control of the capital city. And when we had left off, Tomalus and Anastasia had returned to the Golden Scales, where they had found a letter left for Jane, and after much debate between themselves, Anastasia snuck off and read it herself and decided that it was important that Jane see the letter anyways. And that is where we pick up.
Yep.
Where are we physically again?
You are in the kingdom or the city of Dragon's Breath. And if you need more precise than that, you had headed off towards a library to go try and find information on the Fae. Tomalus was eating. Anastasia was having her crisis of letter. Anaya had snuck off to a open space to practice with Arl, and Jane had made his way to the Temple of Bahamut.
Excellent. In Dragon's Breath.
Yes.
Who's going first?
It's a good question.
I
I'm
will let
eating, so
anyone decide. Yeah, I mean,
Hate it.
Amazing, amazing.
Well,
why
if
don't
no one
we?
else
Why
is
don't
going to
we?
do anything, I would like to find
Oh, I-
out what I find out
I
at
was
the
gonna quick
library.
roll my animal handling check because I'm with Arl and.
Okay.
Oh
You-
yes, Tim, these dice. A 13.
Okay. You and Arl seem to be like hitting a rhythm.
Yes.
Arl is definitely getting along well and following your instructions increasingly better.
Good. Good.
We're not gonna die, guys. We're not gonna be killed by a hellcat with tentacles. Let's go. Good job, Anaya.
A responsible Hellcat owner.
With your research, something I realized recently, you have special bonuses for this, don't you?
Yeah, as my background, I get a
Yeah.
little something.
Little something. Okay. All right. Then yeah. Go ahead and make your. And I'll let you pick between investigation and arcana. Your choice.
Definitely Arcana. 18 for an Arcana check.
Okay. Well, this library is not the most extensive. You are able to obtain some books that provide some information. Because you were just looking at the Fae in general, correct? You were just.
I don't remember now. It's been like 2 weeks. And we never even got to sort of address what I was doing last time. But I wanted information on. I think I wanted information on Meg's patron.
Yeah, the Queen of Air and Darkness. I'm pretty sure that's what you said.
Okay.
And specifically like what her goals are, what she about. Like
Okay.
if we go see her, is she gonna eat us? That sort of thing.
Gotcha. So the library here isn't as extensive as one would hope. But you are able to glean a lot of information about the Fae in general, where you know the Archfey are very powerful, near deific-like creatures. The most notable one is the River King, who was known to rule over the Forest of the Fae before it became the Forest of No Return. It is believed he is still in charge even now. The Queen of Air and Darkness seems to feature more peripherally, where it is talked about as more of a lot of the information that you glean paints her as more of a malevolent entity, but there seem to be very limited examples to justify it. So in essence, it comes across more as like the boogeyman type thing, like, oh man, you better watch out. But there are no concrete stories of the bad things that she has actually done. you do know that she was banished from the Seelie Court, which are more of the light-hearted fae, for transgressions, though those are not detailed. So yeah, so basically the gist you get from the information you have is bad, but there are no coherent, like, definitive acts or events or labels that paint why she is viewed as bad.
Does it feel like propaganda being perpetrated by someone who has an agenda against her? Or does it feel like she's someone that people are genuinely scared of, but there's just no good record of her?
I would say it seems a little bit of both. It is definitely history is written by the victors, but none of it seems to be twisted to be negative.
Okay.
Soundscape is off at the moment. I hadn't actually turned it on.
I was just checking. just trying to check. Just trying to, like, behind the scenes check and make sure there was nothing that was supposed to be.
Yeah, no. I hadn't turned it on yet.
So if how long would it have taken me to learn this information?
You're pretty studious, and due to the limited scope you're in, I would say you probably were able to get the important information in probably like an hour or two.
Okay.
So speed reading, picking out the important books, and cross-checking.
So then after I kind of gain all that information, I want to find like a library clerk, a librarian. Like, it doesn't have to be somebody that's important, just somebody who like knows what they're doing, and say, "Excuse me, is there a way that I could send a letter to someone? Can I do that? Is that a service you provide? Is there a courier? Are there trained pigeons? How does this work?"
I believe we could make arrangements. So where were you hoping to send a letter to?
I need to send the letter to the, what's the name of that school? Worm Soul Academy. It should be a short trip. I just don't think I'll be passing by there. We're going to sort of bypass it. If that, it doesn't matter. Worm Soul Academy.
Yeah, I'd say for a copper, we can ensure that we get you a letter to the Worm Soul Academy.
Oh, certainly, yes, thank you. Let me just pin it out real quick, and can I just leave it with you?
Certainly.
Okay. So he sits down at his desk, pulls out a quill and a piece of paper. Dear Nicholas.
I still hate you.
Dear Nicholas, fuck you. I spent money to do this. Actual money from my own pocket just to say, fuck you. Fuck you. I hate you. I hate you. This cost me more.
With every word, I'm spending money.
Okay.
Dear Nicholas, I realize that the accusations I levied against your father were heavy and uncalled for. He has proven to be a servant of Moss and a great help to us in our battle against evil. Don't get any ideas. I still hate you. I just wanted to apologize. Please be more like your father. Scooch.
Man, we were headed towards the high road, and then
Yeah, I feel like it was like the I'm gonna shake your ass, you boom. You fucking thorn bitch.
All right. So Anastasia, were you going to go find Jane that evening? Were you going to hold on to the letter?
I was going to go find Jane, yeah.
Okay. Then before we do that, then we will cut to Jane as you arrive at the Temple of Bahamut, which still seems to be in quite good condition. There are armed, very elaborately armored individuals standing out front and guard. When you go inside, the first person you see is actually Bartholomew, who seems to be paying his respects. He turns and sees you and kind of walks over, at which point he offers you a hand.
Yeah, I take it.
He says, well met. You were battling the dragon, correct?
It's the very same. Yes.
He says, yes. I was hoping that perhaps I might be able to cross your path again, because I was a bit concerned with your rather bleak outlook.
I mean, sure. I'm. Yes. You've got me at a loss. Please continue.
Like your stance on uh, death to one's enemies.
Oh, sorry. You must forgive me. That probably wasn't the best response. I was trying to think, it's like, when did he find out I'm an asshole? No, yeah, I have now remembered completely. You caught me by surprise. It's been 2 weeks. I forgot. Sorry. Yeah, so I'd have probably been like, when he's like, your bleak outlook, I'd have been like, I mean, it's the outlook that's gotten me this far.
He's like, yes, but one must always take every circumstance one comes across with ideally a hope towards a greater future. I mean, you yourself appear to be a race that is generally treated with mistrust and vile approach, and yet you clearly have been afforded the opportunity to thrive within this kingdom, and so should not everyone be provided the opportunity to bring about a better light within themselves?
I mean, as an ideal, that is admirable. I was only afforded the opportunity to do better than my station by hiding my face and skin from everyone until they knew that I wasn't going to eat their children. So I don't know how great and mighty and noble people were for that. Also, I don't know your story, good sir, and I truly respect you as an individual and a mighty hero, and you are Tomulus's biggest inspiration and a good man. And I'm sure that the kind words you spoke to him will have buoyed his soul immensely. Um, I don't think there's any space inside of me left for goodwill and redemption. I died once, and so did someone very dear to me. And when she was killed, the sun went out, and it's not coming back.
As well, I am very sorry for your loss and whatever trauma and terrors you have encountered in your days, but I would definitely have you think on that if you go down a dark road, you risk being consumed by it and potentially becoming that which you hate.
You're right. I fear it may be too late.
Then I pray that we do not cross paths again, if that occurs. And he gives you a pat on the shoulder. And says, well, I have more pressing things to attend to at this time. I apologize if I kept you from your matters at the temple. Be safe.
Not at all. Same to you. Not at all. You've given me something to think on.
And he departs.
Yep. And I'll walk off as well. Like towards. I'm looking for the head priest or the most senior priest, and if they're not obvious, I will ask a guard or something.
It's pretty obvious. There doesn't seem much priestly activity within the temple right now. There's a single kind of short man, very, very wide, both in shoulder and in body, very stocky, short black beard. He looks up to you and goes, ah, you have come to pay your respects to the Dragon Lord.
Yes. Quite specifically, actually, was looking to ask for his patronage, I guess. I have a few reasons to be here, and I hear that, from what I understand, that Bahamut is god of war and vengeance and justice, amongst other things. I have need of his blessings rather than those of my current patron.
Well, scorning a god is never a wise decision, but I'm sure Bahamut would be open to whatever requests you may have if you are embracing his ideals of wisdom and justice.
Yes, exactly so, actually. And I will. In fact, no, I can talk about it. So, I'm sure you are aware, High Priest. Is that the title you go by in here? I don't know.
Yes, my name is High Priest Verdash.
And how would I address you?
High Priest, or you can even call me Otto.
Okay, Otto. I'm Jane. I am sure it's not escaped your attention that something is wrong with Moss right now, and I realize that I'm not a native, but the forces that were corrupting this place have made quite an impact on my life a few times now, and suffice it to say, I'm quite sick of it. I would help root them out from this city and this country and this world and destroy them permanently, but to do that I'm going to need help. I intend to petition the nobles for assistance in establishing an order eventually to do exactly that, but I wanted to start at the top and find the right patron with the right spirit and the right ideals and the right support to get me on the right path, and I feel that the dragon is where I want to start, and maybe, who knows, I might become a better person out of this whole thing down the line, though Lord knows that's unlikely.
Well, we can all hope to be better people down the line, but that is quite bold aspirations you have.
Well, when you've killed as many people as me, you've got to pay the check eventually.
But I'm sure if you were to take a moment and repose, that perhaps the great dragon would listen to your prayers, and perhaps you will be successful in your endeavor.
Yep. That's why I came here.
He nods and gives you space.
Yep. And I'm gonna get down into a lotus position and try and just like I was doing in wherever the hell it was called here, where basically I'm just gonna try if it's gonna work anywhere in my logic, now is the time because this is the dragon place, and just try and do what I used to do, where I focus on still all of my emotions and all of my lower my heart rate, my breathing, and just try and get my spirit into alignment with the spirit of Bahamut, what I think could be Bahamut, and see if he speaks to me on the kind of. I'm asking him basically for guidance on, is this something that I can do, or am I essentially just damned?
Okay. So you spend some time in meditation and trying to zero yourself out and reach into something else. Time passes, you feel the same, and then Anastasia arrives.
I will jump out of my skin if you do that thing, because I'm God, what are you doing? Hello, by the way, but what are you doing?
This letter came for you.
Oh, I see. Where was it?
I found it in the hallway.
Inside check.
Deception check?
It's It's a 15 from me, Jeff.
It's a 13.
He is definitely lying.
You found it in the hall.
Yeah.
Where?
Outside, outside your room.
Found it in the hall outside my room. Okay. I assume you found it there open as well.
Yes.
I see. Okay. Or
Man,
did you
someone's been
find it?
going through your mail, man.
That sounds like it. Or alternatively, was it left for me at the Golden Scales and you opened it just to have a read?
I can't read.
I know that's not true. They don't. They
You know,
don't make dumb. They don't
Yeah.
make dumb clerics. Like,
I mean, that's not
No, more
entirely
like yours.
true. I knew a guy once, but
yeah, but they teach you basic literary. That's part of your thing. I mean, honestly,
I also feel like I can't know Scooch and not know how to read. Like, he would just be
No,
like,
you-
you're disgusting.
no, you 100% know how to read, Anastasia. I mean, do you know what? I started off disappointed that you'd opened my mail, then got disappointed that you lied to me in such a shit way. But now, actually, that you've committed so hard into it, I'm back round to impressed. So, to be honest with you, do you know what? I'm going to shake your hand and we're just going to move on.
Listen, my mom told me never back down from your commitments, and I was committed to that lie.
Do you know what? I agree with your mother. Yeah, geez, just lie better and also don't go through my mail again and I think we'll be fine.
Yeah, yeah. It's from
Or
it's from
espionage
some
tip.
guy who's like, in your brother.
Oh, okay, then this is good. I should probably read it then.
Yeah, it sounded
but
kind of important.
Yeah, it probably will be. Also, espionage tip. Next time you do try to read through a letter, I mean, this has just a plain seal on it. You can just heat it up and no one would know. Give you that tip for free. Right, I'm going to go ahead and read this.
Read Jane's mail by heating seal next time. Got it.
Next time I won't catch you. I'm just going to read it. What does it say again?
It says, brother, the glacial heart is headed northeast. I fear for our brothers in Ellendon, headed there.
Ellendon. So, glacial heart.
Wondering, that is near where Staff's Tower was.
Hey,
That is
is it
so.
in August?
No.
It's kind of on the way from here to Novice. Yeah.
Novice is on the way to Ellendon, yes.
Ellendon.
Hurts.
Okay. Well, I'm going to read that a bit. Grade. But perhaps I'll tell everyone. In fact, seeing as you've already read this and you know, if you see anyone, just let them know that information, just in case they get really busy and I do my standard maneuver of forgetting to mention it to people. Do the same for me and consider your moral debt to me entirely paid off. And I will.
Oh, neat. I realized I was in debt.
I mean, you read confidential mail of life and death. I mean, I'll be really honest with you. People that did this about 5-6 years ago would just have been killed. So it's
Not
great.
Moss. It's like custom to read other people's mail in Moss.
But we also had an Ebon Shroud temple here in Moss, and I can guarantee you their custom was to kill the shit out of people that read their mail.
Kill the shit out of people. I like that.
Yeah. You can use it anytime you want.
I'm gonna kill the shit out of Tomless sometime.
Let's go, bro.
What?
Yeah.
Sorry, I feel like my nose is itching.
There was disturbance in the force.
My ears are on fire. Is that what they say? Ears, fire,
So-
something like this.
At this point, are you returning to go try and find means of transport back to Baldea, or are you going to go rest for the evening? Are you reconvening? What is your plan of action from here with all your disparate locations?
I wanted to use whatever time was left in the day, in the evening, because I'm assuming that there's still going to be bigwigs around in the castle, because they were literally all just there. I'm going to try and get back, like, after I've done my, like, inner search. Okay, no worries. I'm going to try and go to them, and I just want to basically start pitching the idea I had to them as, like, a kind of, I want to search for, like, peripheral support and, like, a general kind of okay. And then I would go back and rest.
What you're looking for?
Just anyone of like high standing who is still in the castle. Like, I mean, obviously the king would be sweet, but like he's probably too high to shoot for. So, like, any of like the great heroes I met, anyone that I remember from like a politician on my side, high ranking.
Okay. Make a persuasion check, just to see how.
Oh wow, it's not bad. It's a 15 from me.
Okay. The people you're able to speak to say that might not be a bad idea, but they have more pressing matters at this time.
Yeah, which I understand. I just want to get this is setting the groundwork for coming back and triggering it. So there is support for it. That's cool. Okay, I will thank them, and I would try and find the party so I can tell them what I know about the letter.
Okay, so is everyone trying to reconvene at the Golden Scales then, or?
Yeah, that works.
Yeah.
I believe that is where I would go.
Okay. Then you all make your way back to the Golden Scales, where Thomas has just finished a lovely meal.
Well, hello everyone. Well, that was delicious.
I'm going to whisper to Anaya
What did you eat, brother? You're gonna what?
I'm going to whisper to Anastasia and be like, so, like, the killing the shit out of him thing, is that now, or, like, any time?
No.
Killing who? Wait, what?
No, I was just checking. It's okay, fine.
It's okay, fine.
You sounded disappointed that that's not now.
No, I don't want you to do it at all. I just wanted to watch. Sorry. I've got a bet on with the other monks on who wins.
I don't want you to do it at all. I just wanted to watch.
I've got a bet on.
We're talking about me fighting in a pit later, and if I'm gonna kill a shit out of someone, Tomless.
Sounds super exciting. Also had the veal with the egg. It was delicious. I recommend it.
Does sound good.
Egg veal. I want a pizza.
Yeah, in fact, waiter, hit me with one of those. I'm gonna take one of those.
Okay.
Yeah,
Deal
and
with
I'm
egg.
gonna order some food with extra raw meat for Aural. And BT Dubs, my dinner's gonna be here in 3 minutes, so I'm gonna have to step away for time, but I'll be back.
That's absolutely fine.
Fine.
How
all
much
right.
is my food?
It's still on the tab because this room was paid for by dignitary because you were still.
I get 2 more of those. Do they got dessert here?
Shove
Let's
some in
go.
the bag of holding where they soil everything inside. Just make everything smell like food.
Okay. So if everyone's like sat down and got their thing, I'll be like, everyone should probably sit down for a moment. And I received mail, and I'll get the letter out and read what he says to me, like word for word. And say, so that's a concern. I also understand there's a war on, and we may prioritize that before chasing the relics, or
I don't think that the
don't
two
know.
are separable. They're sort of the same issue in a way. I do believe that tracking down the glacial heart could determine the tide of this war.
I don't disagree.
I do agree myself. In fact, I think that your once thought dead brethren of ninjas? What?
I mean,
monks?
I guess.
It's close enough. I mean, yeah. Some monks that take the path of shadow do in fact call themselves ninja.
Well, I think they might have a great deal to do with this war themselves, because it seems like a lot of the artifacts that might change this war are tied up somehow in that group.
Yes, I'm starting to learn that perhaps I didn't know as much as I thought I did about my own order.
Well, what were on our to-do list? Things we needed to get done.
Well, we do need to go. If we're going to be a group of our word, we need to go through feet and speak with the unseen hand. Is that what they're called? The shady fingers.
The shady fingers.
I don't think we're ever going to call them that again.
I might. Right here
I
in
might
my heart,
actually.
that's what they're
Yeah, I might, in fact, insist they change their name to that as terms for the
The
transaction we're going.
disappearing fingers, maybe.
I hate that one.
Where do the fingers disappear to? That's the question.
That is the question. All over the place, it seems.
We need
I-
to go possibly speak to the greasy-haired fellow who was in charge of that, who I can't remember his name. I want
Garrow.
to say Garrow. Yes, that's right. Gallo?
Gallo.
Paris Gallo?
Greasy.
Yellow.
That's the only thing I can remember that's on our to-do list.
I may have information about the Night Diamond, or a means to acquire such information. But we would have to go in the direction of Novice.
Well, that is sort of on the way to the northeast.
Yeah, perhaps we can do a. I'm going to get my map out. Yeah, perhaps we could do a sweep around.
Well, it
We
is an
could do
option.
it.
I think we could potentially get teleported somewhere, and we could get teleported to Novice and then walk up
I mean,
to...
it's only if Novice has a teleportation circle.
Possibly?
Well, we can get teleported to Novice if it doesn't have a circle, but it gets real spicy if the guy teleporting us doesn't have first-hand knowledge of it. We could aim for Novice and end up a considerable number of miles not in Novice, or even a considerable number of miles under the ground, which doesn't sound amazing.
Well,
Fear of getting buried alive.
To a teleportation circle on the east side of the mountains, I think that will be better for us, even if it takes us all the way to Ala. And then we just backtrack to Novice a little bit. Just a little bit.
Little bit.
I would like to consider Novice somewhat of a priority.
Well, if we're going to teleport, we might have to skip feet for now. How bad would that be?
I don't
What's
don't like Karis Gallo, so I'm fine with that.
Yeah. I think
I don't
Jane's
think-
kind of. I think Jane's kind of the only guy who's friends with him.
Just write him a quick letter. Oh, sorry, the war's on. Got to go.
Well,
Sorry, you're sketchy and we're at war.
Gallo never specifically put a time limit on our quarry
Also,
there, and did
Mistake.
seem to say, he also did seem to kind of intimate that we could go at any time and it wouldn't be an issue. So
Well-
I feel like on the scale of critical to do right now actions, it's probably quite low. I'd like to go at some point. Anything he thinks is useful probably is. I know you
Well,
guys don't like him, but he's an extremely competent individual with a handle on what's good. So, yeah, go
Let's
for it.
kill the fuck out of that guy.
We can put that
We
back on
tried.
the burner.
He
as they
handled
say.
all of us. That guy is a competent fighter. I don't know if you guys knew. I was bleeding and about to get absolutely banged by a Goliath on a table. I mean,
yes, but that's because I wasn't there, Jane. Don't worry about it. I'll
Yeah,
have
I
you
was
back
al-
next time.
I was also
you were,
blind.
You were very much there. You were tied up downstairs. It was a
I think
clusterfuck, is what
now-
it was.
I'm not blind anymore. Scooch isn't tied up in a basement somewhere.
Yeah.
We could fuck that guy up.
Yeah, we're not gonna.
I don't think that is
Yeah,
what
we're
we need
not
to do
gonna.
at the moment. But back on the burner then, with that one then, as they say.
Yes, we can put that one back on the burner.
Good
But we
God.
should take it off the burner so it doesn't continue to cook, if we're using the analogy.
Well, it's just a phrase. I don't think it means anything.
I know, but
Put
it's
it
just a phrase.
on a
It's got to
back
mean that
burner.
it's got to make the right one. Where's the front burner? There's just a fire.
Well, it just says
Put-
back on the burner. I don't know.
No,
It's
no,
a
it
phrase.
doesn't. No,
people-
it
I
says
don't
put
put
think
it-
it.
that's right.
No,
No, I
it's put it on the back burner.
But
What's a
there's no
back
back burner.
burner?
Just, yeah, what is a back burner?
I'm so sad right now at Colin Thomas's butchering of every phrase in existence.
What is a back burner anyway?
I'm just gonna look at Jane and go, I'm gonna do it.
Yep. Oh yeah. Okay.
What?
so-
Wait, what?
It's fine. Scooch, quickly answer either Anaya or Tumulus, and then throw 50 gold on the floor, and we'll take the bets.
Anastasia or Thomas.
Oh well, I guess I choose Anastasia.
Okay.
Great.
Arm wrestling? I've
that
always
means
wanted to do this.
That means. Oh, do you know what? Let's do it. I'm not doing it, but you two should arm wrestle anyway.
I got
And then-
this.
No, wait. I've got this. You two arm wrestle, and whoever's right got the phrase right.
Boom. That makes sense to me.
And to make it fun, I'm going to put a gold piece in, and Scooch is going to put a gold piece in, and we're going to pick a side. I pick Tumulus. Let's go.
My man.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you two are arm wrestling, each one of you make a strength check.
I've definitely got this. Tomless dice for this for sure. No,
That's
way to inch it away. 21.
23.
Dang it.
Okay, so Anastasia begins pushing Thomas down towards the table. Check again.
I've little chance to win this, I think. Natural 20. Get wrecked, Anastasia.
17.
Yeah.
So it
Tom
comes
was
back
dice.
to middle and back to the other side. Anastasia's arm is almost touching the table. Check again.
Get him.
Get wrecked.
She's on the ropes, Tumulus. She's on
It's
the
not
ropes.
bad. It's not
Get it
bad.
down.
Plate
18.
of food is bigger than my torso.
Dirty 20.
Dang it.
What'd you get, Thomas?
Remember when
18.
I taught you about fulcrums and leverage?
Back to
No,
middle.
this is
Then
not the
the
time!
rest is back to middle. Check again. This epic battle.
Tom, give me strength.
Yeah.
17. One less.
15.
Oh!
Thomas pushes her back down again. Check again.
Yes, Tom, this will be the greatest victory.
23.
Oh God.
What,
Back to middle.
what are you guys doing?
Arm wrestling.
Arm wrestling.
Okay.
Oh dear God.
Anastasia, he's weak. Now is the time.
22.
Crush
Sick.
him.
6.
Oh no.
Comes crashing down the other side.
Oh God, that was quite painful.
You tried. You did well. I'm
I almost had
gonna
it.
I'm gonna shake hands with everyone at the table, and I'm gonna give Scooch 1 gold piece.
I tried, Jane. I failed.
You put up a valiant effort, and I'm very impressed. That girl is incredibly strong.
I've made.
Scooch, how do you feel your chances?
Well, if a 16-year-old girl can beat you, then
Let's go. I must redeem my pride by beating the small wizard.
bring it on.
Could be worse. Meg's dying.
Yeah.
4. Oh, 15.
Wait, you two are arm wrestling now?
Yeah. I must
So
redeem
4 to-
myself.
So 4 to 15. So you bring him almost to touching the table.
You won't
Right.
give me
Natural
that.
20.
Never mind.
I don't know if you got a chance. Boom.
I mean, he can roll a 20 as well.
It's true. It would be amazing.
1.
Boom!
I wasted my 2 natural 20s on arm wrestling. I want to be known.
What do you mean wasted?
Well, it's true. Well, I lost one, so it honestly was a waste.
I can't help it if I'm a god.
Yeah, I didn't expect me to win that, but it was gonna be fun.
I can't help it if God forgot to put biceps in my arms.
Maybe we should train you a
All
little bit,
roots are
Scooch,
just
with
missing from Scooch's body.
start doing some workouts
sim-
at night or something.
He simply took your biceps and put them into my arms.
Nice.
True.
Can I have them
It's
back,
rather
please?
true.
No, absolutely not.
You've got 2 sets of quadriceps, one on your legs and one on your arms.
It's from carrying this party.
All right.
It's canon. Anastasia just looks like a cloud.
So, course of action from here. You guys going to seek one of your directions in transport? You guys turning in for the night? Are you still deciding and that was just a distraction?
That was just a distraction. It was fun though. I think we should rest, and then in the morning we should consult our contacts and teleport to wherever we are planning to head to. Options-wise, we have what we have. We could swing by Baldir and check in on the princess, etc., and get a status of the war update too, because they have a teleportation circle there we could use to send us to where we would need to go. And that might help us get a better tactical lay of the situation so we know what the next move is.
Yeah, because
It does seem like a good plan. I was worried if she got home safe.
isn't there a teleportation circle in what's his face's tower?
Yes.
And we need
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
to go to Eladon, so it wouldn't be that far from there, right?
Well,
What about Novice?
the only one that's seen it is Scooch, and I don't think he has that power yet.
Well, actually, you don't know if Staff has a teleportation circle. He drew a circle to send you somewhere else.
Oh, true.
I forgot about
He
Novice.
doesn't have a permanent one, yeah.
Also,
He might.
that spell consumes the chalk, so it's
What's
not
in
there.
what's in Novice?
In character, or out of character?
I know out of character it's fucking hot.
No,
Oh,
it's not
no,
him.
it's not Hawk. It's yeah, that's a good
It's
point.
her
I know
lead.
that we keep mentioning Novice, and I've
I
not
believe
tried.
that we can gain in Novice about the Night Diamond.
From who?
I have a contact.
It's hot.
Cool. Who's the contact, do we think?
I would prefer not to speak of it right now, and I'm gonna
It's
look
hot.
very pointedly at Jane, giving him a shut the fuck up look.
Alright, we'll talk about it later.
Break his bones. Break his bones.
With a glance.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, I'm like choking on tea to death over here. Like, I'm drink, right?
What a way
Anaya.
to go, though.
I know.
An absolute strong, devastating woman, Meg, choking on tea.
Rough times.
Okay, well, we can talk about that shortly, because we should probably rest.
So
I'm, in
before we
fact,
rest,
going
we
to
should
eat my
decide
food.
where we're going to teleport to. Is it Baldea, or is it as close to Novice as we can get?
Where's Bob?
I think,
what?
I
Well,
think
can't we
Baldea's a
teleport
decent
from
idea.
Baldea after we go there? No?
Everyone just spoke it once, and I heard none of it.
Raise your hand. I'll go. Me? Okay. Can't we just teleport from Baldea after we get there, and just to check on the princess?
What he said.
The only reason I would say not to do that is, would we be presuming on the resources of the king?
Counterpoint.
Potentially, but
He literally knighted us, and we can just pay a wizard in components to send them.
Where
Yeah,
is
right.
Bob on the map?
It's Royd.
middle.
Royd is
Oh,
the city dude.
Royd.
That's what I was looking for.
Well, you see, from Royd, we could go to Novice through the mountains.
I do not want to travel through the mountains again.
Why not,
I got
Scooch?
very sweaty.
Scooch, you need to stop playing League.
Different kind of sweat.
Yeah, I thought that was Smash. Anyway.
I do get very sweaty when I play Smash. So Baldea it is then. I'm for that, and we can teleport basically anywhere that we can teleport from here, from there.
Yes, a bit.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure if I spoke to our friend, whose name I've completely forgotten, come on notes, let's go.
We
One
could
of the
just-
wizards.
Wait, I'll get there. Hold on. That's
We
my.
could divide
concentration.
ourselves into like two
Flame?
teams.
No, that's the bad one.
No.
Julia? Rukvik?
No, it's
Zolan?
No, the guy in the castle, the star cloak dude. He's got a German name. Come
The
on,
guy we all think is
Oh,
bad
oh,
over and
oh,
over
oh.
again.
What
Andrew,
is
help
that
me.
guy's name?
Victor.
Oh,
Hold on. I got it.
Ruvik
Yeah.
Thar?
No. What's his name?
Bloody
Ludovic.
Ludovic. There we
Yes.
go.
Lord
I
Ludovic,
knew
yes.
I knew he had an Eastern European name or a Germanic name. God damn it! Oh, it's so close.
Goddamn
I
Germans.
just loved the name Rolodex. Launch it out.
I got lots of names in here.
I know a lot of wizards.
Okay, right. So I'm going to put Royal Wizard.
I have him
front
written in
of
my
his name
notes as
'cause it's right
Rando
here.
Wizard in Boldea. And I don't think I'm gonna change it.
Okay, so Ludovic would very likely teleport as he is a powerful enough mage and also has a positive disposition towards us now. So, with that, if that is decided, I mean, everyone make your cases. I will go where the group decides, and in fact, I'm going to head to my room now that I have my food here because I don't quite like eating in public still. Anaya, come meet me. I promise
Yeah, I
it's
was
nothing.
actually gonna follow him up with my food.
Oh, okay, cool. Well, in which case, please do.
What do you think they're talking about in there?
Lol.
It's a good question. What
Feelings?
feelings? What do you mean? What kind of feelings?
Do you think that your sister and Jane are like having a secret thing and they just don't want to tell us because they don't want the rest of us to feel left out?
What? Is that what you think is happening? Thomas is gonna run upstairs.
So,
Yeah. And I whip out a loot, and you hit.
oh my
I've
god.
been feeling fine.
Okay, as you make your way upstairs, Thomas comes running up after you.
Yeah, I'm gonna stop him and be like, dude, cock blocking. I don't do that. I don't do that.
I just squinted them. What are you two talking about?
We are discussing a couple of magic-based theorems that the two of us had that we didn't want to really talk about in front of people. It's really nothing too serious.
Insight check.
Make a perception check.
That will be a dirty 20.
Okay, we got a 12.
All right.
Lol.
Sounds pretty convincing.
Brother, how would you like me to explain to you later?
No, it sounds extremely boring. Have fun. I'll be back.
Oh, okay, that just got me out of it if I don't want to. Nice.
Yeah, I just look straight at you and go, I mean, that fucking worked. I'm as shocked as you are. Please, in the room. Yeah.
No, you see, Scooch, they're talking about magical components or something or other. I kind of tuned out for a minute there, but definitely not some kind of relation or something.
Well, if you say so.
I
I'm
mean,
very good at reading people, and I know he wasn't lying.
I see. Yes, well.
I'm very good at lying.
I don't think
You're
that's
lying
true,
right now.
You
Like I
have
said, I'm very good at
succeeded
reading.
it.
I lied and succeeded.
Name one time.
Not right now. You can't say right now. I can tell you're lying.
So, meanwhile, you two have managed to steal yourselves off.
The
Hello.
music change.
I can feel come in the air
I can't wag my eyebrows because of my bangs. I did it, but you guys didn't see.
I'll do it for you, hold on.
Suggestive eyebrow waggle. Thank you. That's what's happening.
tonight.
Okay,
That
so,
but less creepy.
so first thing I'm going to do is just sit down on the floor and start eating my food and just say, please take a seat. I'm assuming there's furniture in or wherever I don't use it. So, yeah. So I'll be like sat on the floor.
Yeah, pretty nice.
So I'll just point to whatever furniture. Just take a seat. It's fine.
Yeah, I'll sit wherever I can and start eating as well.
Okay.
Okay. It's like, so who are your friends then that we're going to meet?
You know of my patron,
I do.
so you know of the Night Diamonds association with my patron.
It's hers, isn't it?
I believe it to be associated with her, but I do not know in what capacity.
Okay.
But I have a contact who said if I needed him, he would be there and to find him in Novice, and I believe that he was an emissary from her court. I've been told to find her numerous times now, but I've been putting it off because of my brother.
Yeah, fair enough. Important business as well, I'm sure she'll understand. If she's at all amenable to reason.
Mhm.
So, begs the question, what do you expect to find there?
My relationship with my patron has been positive to date. I serve her. She has no complaints. I believe she's the one who sent me Arl. So I
Yeah.
believe that... Huh?
I said, yeah, of course.
Yeah. So I believe that... I don't know that she would wish to help us in a human capacity, but I would like to hear what she has to say.
Okay. So, what's your goal? Not the Night Queen, not the Diamond. What's your objective?
To take
From
care of
here.
my brother.
Okay. I know that's true, but I want to insight check it anyway, just because that's what Jane would do. So I'm gonna look very, very. In fact, I would take my mask off and just look at you really intently as you are saying that, which is it's not great as a 6, so I will definitely. Which I would anyway. And be like, okay. How far would you go to do that? What will you pay to
I've
protect your
already
brother?
paid my soul. Are you asking for more?
I'm not asking for anything. These are hypotheticals. I want you to understand the point of this.
Paying my
So-
soul was not a hypothetical.
Oh yeah, I'm not questioning the pacts made between creatures I don't understand. I can't question. I just know that this is a thing that exists. The details of that are yet to be determined. I used to speak to, well, I never spoke to it. I used to be spoken to by a very, very powerful entity of the Abyss. Every single day. All day. And it tells you a few things here and there. And most of it you try and block out. And some of it seems true. And he offered me constantly great power for a terrible cost. You have great power. I wonder if you've considered the terrible cost.
The cost is not what's important.
Indeed. My point is she hasn't asked for anything yet. Or so
And-
far.
If she does, I'll do what's necessary.
That could be terrible, terrible deeds.
Then I will do what is asked. She owns me.
The point I'm getting at is we have currently a war, a man named Ashram at large. We have the sword from my temple at large. We have the glacial heart, which we don't even know what it does, at large. There is a third relic from my order I don't even know the name of, but know the symbol for now. Probably at large. We've got an archwitch called Canis at large. These are all world-ending threats.
And you have an exceedingly powerful diamond and a being capable of wielding it.
Indeed. And my concern directly relies in, am I creating threat number 6 by doing so?
Then why don't we visit my patron and ask her ourselves?
I don't think I'll be doing any of the asking. She's not going to speak to me.
Well, then why don't I visit my patron and you guys can go do whatever it is you want to do?
I say we should come with you. I just don't think she's going to give me an answer worth a damn.
Well, I
I'm-
should certainly hope not. You're not particularly worth her time.
I choose to ignore that. either way,
She just called you a little bitch.
Azanaya. Sorry, it's not Meg. I don't think you're a
Yeah,
little
I
bitch, Sam.
I know. It's
Secretly, she does think you're a little bitch, Sam.
secretly she's right. But,
There
I'm just a cook. Step on me. But but like, my misgivings are simply, I intend to extinguish the threats to this world, like our mage Callus, and I don't know your true opinion of me or anyone in the group. I consider this group to be good friends of mine, and though I, in honesty, don't fully trust you, I haven't been given, well, I mean, have you wanted to kill a child for it being slightly annoying once? Can I really, you know? You're
In my
not giving me
defense, he was
tons to
more than
work with.
slightly annoying.
He
was
was,
an
yeah,
idiot.
he was pretty annoying. But like, still like, even I, me, an actual murderer, have limits on what's worthy of death. Like, you just teach it, you just train it out of him. 5,000 push-ups, get rid of any annoying he had. I'm sure I was a brat when I was 3 at the temple. They just made me do sit-ups till my spine had biceps, and that sorted all of that out. That's physically impossible, and it happened. I'm telling you, 5,000 sit-ups and the check is fine. It will flex. But I'm being jocular to hide the stress that I
Anaya's
worry.
going to put up her hand. If my choice is distilled down to harming my brother or following my patron's wishes, I will die. At my own hand and no one else's.
I also fear for the world at large, and if Thomas isn't affected, you'd burn a city. I don't want you to be another thing on my list that I have to vanquish to save the world.
Is my brother not a part of the world at large? And
That
do I
is
not
all the
stick
answer.
near my brother at any given moment?
That's all the answer I wanted. I want to know I'm not creating another evil force to destroy. And I'm going to need your word that you're going to use this not for good, not for redemption, but not to destroy what's left in this world that is good and
I will
righteous.
take
You
care
and I,
of my brother.
you and I both live in the shadows, and that's fine. Some people need to, but we have to stop making choices that drag us from the mire into just slightly above it. And with that, I'm going to take out the night diamond, put it on the floor, and say, you can take that away from here if you want, and do what you will with it. I know that Scooch can cast. There is a curse on it. We already know that. We can remove the curse, and you can relinquish it if you need to, / if it's doing terrible things. Think on it. It's yours. Please, please, I beg you, do not become something that has to die on the end of our swords.
I will die on the end of no one's sword but my own. And I'm going to pick it up, and I'm going to make my exit.
I'm
Did
gonna
you
look
talk
at
to her
Kevin.
about the curse?
Yes, I mentioned it. Yes.
Okay, good.
But when she leaves, I'm just gonna look at Kevin and go, well, I think that went okay. And the cake's just gonna go like,
Cave's gonna go like this.
Yeah. The two quarters come up.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's okay, buddy. We're pretty good at killing casters now.
Dear God.
By the night diamond now, bitch.
So since I guess you guys are going to go to bed at this point, I guess my question for Meg then is, are you just going to go to bed, or are you going to stay up all night trying to tune to your item?
I'm gonna find Scooch very quickly, and also Tomulus. I'm doing like the rounds before bed, if that's
I wanna
okay.
talk
If
to
people are
Tomulus,
okay
but
with
I want to
it.
be the last
Yeah.
to talk to Tomulus.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go.
If people are okay with it. Okay,
Yeah, go
so
ahead.
quickly I'll find Scooch and just like on the door.
Oh, yes, come in.
Are you decent?
Never, but that's beside the point.
Okay.
It better
excellent.
fucking be.
Oh yeah. It doesn't matter. You know. Okay, fine. I just walk in and sit down on the floor and just say, so I gave Anaya the Night Diamond, and we spoke. I informed her there was a curse upon it, and I also informed her we can remove it. I assume, though I don't know, that she will probably perform the ritual to merge with it. And I told her that I do sincerely hope that she doesn't become something we end up having to destroy.
As do
I hope I haven't made one more problem. And I thought I'd put you all in the picture as best I can.
Well, she is ultimately her own woman who can make her own choices, but I had hoped that being as intelligent as she is, she would make a more intelligent choice. And if it leads to us having to deal with it in some way, I believe the two of us are equipped to do it in a way that maybe, just maybe, we could do it without hurting her.
I believe in violence.
But I think if
Come on, man,
anyone
we're
can,
friends.
if anyone can handle it, it's Anaya, right? She knows the Queen of Air and Darkness. She's not going to. I did a bit of study, and it does seem that the Queen has a nefarious reputation, but I couldn't quite pin down exactly why. I'm hoping that it is something that is a bit blown out of proportion and maybe even false in some cases. Maybe, just maybe, this is something that will help us.
That was the dice I'm rolling. I don't know where it'll go. I also don't know how long the Queen of Air and Darkness is gonna let her keep the diamond, or even if she is, because she might want it back. If it is the very same artifact of that god, she might want it more than we do. Either way, I guess I've got to start trusting people at some point, or this is never going to work.
What a weird time to start trusting other people with very dangerous things. But
At this point, with the fate of the world in basically the hands of a very moody drow monk and a bunch of prodigious children, I feel like that was probably the least worst thing I could have done, actually. So it seems to have worked out so far.
There are no children in this party.
Worst case scenario, you stun her, I cast remove curse, we steal the diamond.
I figured that would
I
be.
rake your eyes out with my fingernails.
You can certainly
don't.
try.
Yeah. Not when you're stunned, you don't. I mean,
You guys
You and I
forgot
need to have
my
a-
cat.
you guys need to. He's not stun immune. I've got 4 attacks. That's a good odds. But they.
How's your Constitution saving throw there, Anaya?
Yeah.
Actually,
Hopefully it-
not bad. Honestly,
Oh, there you
actually
go.
not bad.
But I do need to have a word with you at another point as well, Scooch, about an idea I've been batting around, but I feel I've taken enough of your time. I need to speak to Tomulus for a moment, and then I shall retire. I will see you all in the morning. I assume our plans remain roughly the same as they were when I left?
Ah.
So,
Okay, very good. Good night to you both, and I shall see you in the morning.
wait, was Anastasia in the room that whole time?
She must have been. She
Anastasia's
said she
always
was.
in the room.
Alright.
I just wouldn't have bothered asking for privacy. I mean, she knows, and also she's trustable, so.
She's Anastasia.
Yeah, she opened my letters. She does what she fucking wants. I can't stop her. So then I'm just gonna go like rap on Thomas's door quickly.
Yes, hello.
Are you alone?
No, Anaya's in here. She tends to be.
Come for a walk with me, quickly.
I mean, okay. What, I
Anaya
didn't really
glares
want
a
to
couple
know about.
daggers into Jane's back.
I didn't really want to know about the magic or whatever the heck you guys were talking about. It did sound very boring.
It's nothing to do with that.
Oh, okay. Well, then yes, sure, fine.
Okay. So I'm just gonna walk out to the front of the place we're staying in, and just start walking down the street, just like casually, and just say, so, something interesting happened today, and you should hear it from them themselves, and I'm sure they will. But I just wanted to we've not really had a moment to talk, and I don't know if I've ever really said it, but I consider you to be one of the first real, actual friends that I've had since the death of all of my brothers in the monastery, and a truly good man. But I
Thank you for saying that. I'm glad.
Very welcome. Your ideals are honourable and lofty, and I believe you are strong enough to attain them. I find the endless pursuit of good and justice tiring sometimes, and just wish we'd sacrifice morals for success, but that's a conversation for another day.
We don't need to do that. The good will lead us to our success.
I wish I was as strong as you are. However,
I've seen you punch a dragon, man. It's pretty strong.
yes, your strength comes from hope. Mine comes from rage, despair, and self-loathing. It's a different thing. But I don't know.
IRL.
Yeah, I don't. Obi-Wan, we should do. But I don't know. I don't know too much about where you came from. We went back to your house, didn't we?
We did, yes.
When we were very new to each other.
Mm-hmm.
What happened there exactly?
Well, that's where me and Anaya grew up. Also where we started our adventure, I guess. More or less, the time that my parents died, we were... Well, I was outside. I think me and Anaya were coming back from one of our adventures. We used to love to scamper through the forest and get into all sorts of nonsense and trouble. But something was amiss as there was a giant hole ripped through our house, and as we approached, we saw that, our parents had already been killed, and the creature then attacked Anaya before I could even respond, and did severe damage to her. And then I tried to defend her limp body and myself as best I could against this creature, but I didn't stand a chance. And then, well, I almost said Tomulus, that's not right.
Bartholomew.
Bartholomew came and, well, saved us. He vanquished the creature in just one swift attack. It was pretty incredible. He then stood over me and made me feel a lot better, and then he stood over Anaya, and I heard a gasp of air, and she was alive again.
Very good. Hypothetically, imagine circumstances that you imagine to be beyond all doubt true turn out to be not quite as you remembered.
What do you mean? I'm pretty sure my parents aren't alive.
I'm not saying they are. Imagine that happens, but the world needs you to stay on course. Can you do it?
I'm not sure what you mean.
I feel like if I'm trying to say this in a way that doesn't cause distress, if everything you thought was correct turns out not to be, but your faith holds you still, can you stay on course and focus on what needs to be done?
I'm still not quite sure what you mean, but I will continue to fight for the good and light of this world.
Okay. I feel like I've said as much as I can but without doing a disservice. I'm gonna like it's like awkwardly like offer a hand out to like shake your hand, and I'm just gonna go, oh fuck it, and I'm just gonna like give you like a big hug and just be like, listen, this is I don't do this, so this is not a thing, but
I'm just gonna pull him in a little closer. It's a long hug now.
yeah, I'd be like, steel yourself, brother, or things are going to get
The hug
a
gets
lot
close to
harder.
the awkwardness.
Things are going to get harder from here, but I want you
Yeah.
to know I'm looking out for you. Things are
Worry
going to get
not.
a lot harder from here in my pants, bitch. Oh.
Worry not, Jane. The light always shines through me. And I will glow a little bit, and then walk back to my room, I guess.
And so I guess this is when Anaya is going to talk to Thomas.
I've never been quite so. Like, it feels like you never like go to school without homework that you knew you had to do. That's the feeling that's inside of me right now, and I hate it. Anyway, here we are.
At least you did your homework. I've been like trying to think about this, and then every time I get about 3 seconds in, I'm like, I can't do this right now. So I actually don't know what's about to happen because I haven't thought this through.
Oh, good luck.
Okay. So Anaya is pacing in the room when Tomalus comes back, and there's like, so her sleeves are massive, so she's got her hands around something, but it's like tucked up in like this, you know, like inside the sleeves. So she's holding something, pacing. Aurel, I imagine, is like at her heels, pacing back and forth with her, like as anxious as she is. So Tomalus, that's what you come in on.
Sister, you're awake. I assumed you'd be asleep by now.
Brother, would you please sit?
Yes, sure.
May I ask a question?
Of course.
If you were to choose between good and myself, what would you choose?
See, Jane was asking me weird questions a moment ago as well. I don't. I would choose both.
And if that were not possible?
Well, we've always just had each other, so I'd always choose you.
Anaya's gonna let out a really big sigh. And she's gonna let her sleeves fall down, and he's gonna see the night diamond in her hands.
But I thought Jane was holding on to that. It's evil. You don't need to carry this with you.
Jane has given it to me. And then she's going to pull out her necklace that matches the night diamond,
They're much smaller.
but much smaller. It's like a miniature version, like clasped in this chain that she kept tucked away. And she's just gonna look at him.
How did you have that made so quickly? Even know
I
how
knew it.
that's
Ride
possible.
or die. Come with it.
Brother, the one around my neck has been present since the day our parents died.
Did
Since the day
Bartholomew
that I
give it to
died.
you?
No, wait. The follow-up is since the day that I died.
Oh. But you didn't die. Bartholomew saved you. Did he give it to you?
Bartholomew is not the one that saved me, brother.
Then Torm, maybe? Who saved you?
Nothing quite so bright. And she's gonna look down at the night diamond and look back at him. Do you know where this comes from?
How much do I know where that comes from? I forget how much we've talked about this.
You were there for like little bits of the conversation. So I believe you did hear that it was related to an archfey, and you may have heard the term Queen of Air and Darkness thrown
I think I
around.
did. Yeah, I believe Scooch or Jane said something about a queen of air or darkness or something, yes.
When we were small, you would stumble and toddle around the swamp and fall in, and I would scoop you out.
Well, you don't need to bring it up like that, but yes, it's true.
You would charge ahead through our lives and fight with Father and pull forward no matter what, yes?
Well, of course, I had to protect you, my little sister.
Who caught you when you fell?
Well, you, usually, I guess.
Who took care of your wounds?
I mean, you, usually,
I guess.
I guess.
You have grown strong and capable of caring for yourself. But
True.
you are not always the most intelligent or wise. It's what gives you so much hope. So please understand that anything that I've done is to make sure that you have intelligence and wisdom at your side in my form.
What are you trying to say?
I was not saved by Torm. I was not saved by forces of light. I was saved by the Queen of Air and Darkness.
But then how would you be a cleric of Torm if...
Brother, did you ever see any of my training to become a cleric of Torm?
Well, of course not. I was busy becoming a paladin.
I was practicing other magics. Ones that were bestowed to me with my life. In exchange, I asked her to let me protect you at all costs. The only way that I could survive that attack was... to gain the magic to protect you was to deal with her. Torm couldn't save me from the place that I went.
This is some kind of... You and Jane are pulling some prank. Something...
Have you known me to joke?
Not often. What?
Have you known me to get along with Jane well enough to orchestrate something like this?
You guys do seem closer lately.
I wouldn't say that.
But all this time you've told me you were a cleric of Torm.
You turned to good the day that Bartholomew showed himself to you. You turned to good in a way that I always knew you would, and in a way that I hoped I would eventually, but I was not capable of doing so. But I had to protect you. It was my only reason for coming back to life after Mother and Father died. And if you were gone, there would be no purpose for me. I wasn't certain that you could live with yourself, living with something evil. So I lied to protect you from that reality.
But the Queen may have saved you, but you're not evil. I've known you my whole life. While darkness tends to follow you, you do what is right. You are kind at heart.
Brother, I do what is right because of you, not because it is in my nature.
But it is in your nature. You've been, like you said, every time that I fell and I stumbled, you would pick me up and help.
And I died, and the soul that was in me that let me do those things was traded away for life.
So what you're saying is, we must find this Queen of Air and Darkness and convince her to give you back your soul.
Brother, that is not how the Queen deals.
Well, the Queen will have me to answer to. She's never had Paladin of Torm, or maybe Bartholomew could come with us and...
The Queen will kill you with a finger.
Then, we trade the diamond. She might want this diamond more than she wants her soul.
I do not know her connection with this diamond, but I don't know that my soul is in a state that I could use it again. It's been in her court all of my life. Who knows what state it's in?
Yes, but if we return it to you, you'll be back to normal. This must be our only goal from now on.
I will be back to something. I don't know that it would be normal.
Well, even still, let alone what may come after, that it still must be our true goal now.
If I regain my soul, I may lose my power, and there is a war coming, and I will not be powerless during a war.
Well, then let's regain your soul after the war, then. Either way, it must be our end game goal is to convince this queen to return you to me.
I will entertain the idea, but for now, I must remain in the form that allows me to take the best care of you. And I believe that form is, for better or for worse, bonded to this item. Jane has explained that there is a curse, but he believes that he and Scooch will be capable of removing it and me from it should the need arise. But I will need you to watch me and take care of me and determine if that need is met. Be my Samwise.
I would never leave you to struggle alone, sister. But I must have you, to make up for the deceit you've been giving my way, I guess. Promise me one thing.
What is that?
That when the war is said and done, or whatever we must do is done, we retrieve your soul from the Queen of Air and Darkness.
I consent to trying. But I do not want to make a promise I cannot keep.
Then promise you will try your hardest with me.
I will.
Well, then I will be by your side.
Then I will spend my night bonding to this item. I hope to see you in the morning.
You will. I'm gonna leave the room.
Okay, and I'm gonna sit down and try to attune this sucker.
I would be like not listening, but like I want to watch the door, and when Thomas walks out, I'm just gonna go and like signal him in, and I'll give you the bed, and I'm gonna sleep on the floor.
It's one of those moments where we're all standing out in the hallway, like, oh, we weren't listening.
Somebody's got a cup to their ear.
If you could give me a bit of time, Jane, I'll come back to this room when I'm done.
Take your time. Door's open.
What time is it about?
It's pretty late at this point. Between everything you guys did, wrapping up the conflict at the castle, the research, meal,
The arm wrestling.
the arm wrestling. We're probably at around like we're probably at about like 9-10 o'clock at night at this point.
And do I know where like any I don't know what the word I'm looking for. Like churches to any god really that's on the good side of things.
The main one you'd be aware of, which is pretty obvious to spot from most places in the city, is the Temple of Bahamut.
I'm gonna head to that temple then.
Okay. When you eventually get there, it's pretty quiet. There's just a couple armored figures. There doesn't seem to really be anyone paying any homage at this point, but it's guarded but open. There's still braziers and torches lit inside.
Before I get there, before I walk in, I'll do a little prayer for Torm. I need guidance in this moment, and while I don't have a temple to you, maybe you could give me a word of guidance now. Should I enter this temple or spend some time alone in thought for this?
Make a religion check.
So that looks like a
skill.
feels bad, man. That's still a -1. 13.
13. No overt sign comes to you, but you don't. Nothing inside of you feels to repel you from this course of action.
The course of action of going into the temple, I assume is
Yeah.
what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna enter this temple.
Okay. You know, as I said, it's very quiet. While it's lit, it's very kind of like dim light at this point. You can see there's a couple armored figures at the far end of the open entryway. There's the large effigy of Bahamut at one side.
Excuse me, are you fellows priests of Bahamut?
One of the men looks down and says, "No, we are guardians of the temple. Generally, the high priest does not come out after hours, nor is there much call for services. But those who wish to pay homage are, of course, welcome within his house."
I see. Well, and I'll take out like a few gold coins. Is there like somewhere that like you put an offering of some sort?
Yeah, there's a tithing bowl because every church got to make that money.
Yep. I'm gonna take out 3 gold coins and put them at the tithing area, and take a seat just wherever seems appropriate for that.
Oh yeah, I mean there's like places to sit as well as open areas if you wish to kneel or sit upon the floor.
Well, this is a bit weird, as I have, well, pledged loyalty to a different god, but I ask for guidance in this time. It seems someone near to me has been consumed by darkness, and I need to find a way to bring their light back, maybe. And I was wondering if you're listening. I don't know if you and Torm get along so well, but if you are listening, do you have any advice?
So that's how you're phrasing your question to the ether. Just
Yep.
I'm looking for advice.
Just give me some guidance. Give me something. I don't know. I don't know what to do. Help.
Okay. Roll a d20 for me.
Come on, Tomless Dice, don't fail me now. Oh, yeah, another 14.
Okay. So as you sit and wait for a sign, you hear a faint voice in the back of your head that says, "Be vigilant, be strong, and you will find your path."
Well, thank you, Bahamut. I will try, and then I'll leave, and then I'll kind of I think I'll walk around the town for a bit,
Okay.
kind of in thought, and then I'll enter late into Jane's room.
Okay.
Late, like probably past 2 a.m.
Okay. And so everyone is taking a long rest at that point, except for Anaya, who is hiding in the dark, staring at her diamond.
Yes.
Okay.
So do we all know that this conversation was happening tonight, roughly?
No.
I don't think so.
Because Jane
I-
seemed to know.
I told her to go do the thing. Now I put 2 and 2 together and assumed she's probably doing it in her room. She happened to mention Thomas, who she hasn't told. So I would be doing 2 things with my night. I would have basically been stood at the door, just leaning against it, like just watching to see if anyone comes out, because you never know. In the morning she might come out and go, "No, I'm not doing it," in which case I want it back so I can keep it from people. Or he'd come out and I'd be like, "Okay, looks like we're going ahead then." So I wanted to see where he stood. I'm not going to like draw out any more time because we've had plenty of talk. But
So
all
are
I'm
you
doing-
actually staying up all night then, Jane?
No, he's done his thing now. So like he's gone out the room. I've just told him he can come to my room. I would spend the rest of my night doing like before resting, any time that there is. Again, just trying to communicate to Bahamut and essentially telling him that a lost soul needs a light in the dark.
Okay. But so Scooch and Anastasia, are you guys turning in for the night?
Yep. I am, anyways.
Well, then I guess I am too.
Okay. That seems very reluctant.
When the morning hits, I want to wake up kind of early and go to Scooter's and Anastasia's room.
Well, before then,
Oh, okay, dang.
so during the night, so Anaya, basically you sit down in the dark with this gem. The first hour or so, you're just looking at a dark gem that seems to not really reflect much light at all. then gradually, as you stare more and more into it, you suddenly think maybe you are seeing some reflections of light, and you're not really sure why. You're like, no, that can't possibly be happening. It's a trick of light. You're tired. It can't be that. Then you can very clearly start seeing stars, constellations, and it almost looks like you're seeing something else in the gem as you continue to look. And you almost feel like you're being drawn inside of it to the sort of feeling as you stare into this. And then slowly, as the time ticks by and you see greater and greater areas of star fields swirling about, the stars begin to shift and slowly turn into eyes that seem to be looking right back at you. And that's the end of your evening. You may now attune to your item.
Oh dear God. Anaya's about to kill everyone with her power. Also, I think you're muted, Meg.
I was singing. I was like, I always feel like somebody's watching me. Like I got this like item that's just like all the time now.
Looking at you. All right. So anyway, early morning. Want to go to Scooch and Anastasia's room.
Okay.
Is it in my item? Do I have to like refresh? Is it?
You might need to add it. So it's just called the Night Diamond, and then you can click the attunement box once you add it. It will be orange.
Got it. I see it. Active. Attuned.
I really like that item takes the be wary of staring into the void, lest the void stare straight back, literally. Are we sure it's called the Night Diamond or the Nietzsche Diamond?
Dude, my charisma though.
Does your charisma get boosted with that item as well?
Yeah, increases by 2.
What are you at?
19, so plus
22?
4. No, 19. I rolled like ass for this character. Are you kidding me? I'm not going over 20 ever.
Well, next stat increase, you can get to 20.
Well, once you have the Night Diamond, you can get to 22.
Ooh, true.
No, 24. It says to a maximum of 24.
Yeah, but you can only increase your base stats to 20.
Oh,
So with the plus 2, you could hit 22. You would need another thing to get you to 24.
Now I know
But
what
it's
I'm looking for.
definitely possible.
Unreal.
Scooch. Excuse me, Anastasia.
What?
He comes to the door and he's like just got papers and scrolls and open books because he's preparing his spells for the morning. Yeah, come in. And he like runs back to his desk and like dumps things down and like continues writing. He's like, "What can we do for you?"
I have some questions. I guess either you could answer. I'm not really sure where to look for these answers, but
Well, are they religious questions or are they like, ooh, I'm a wizard questions?
I guess a bit of both.
We've got you covered.
Yes. What is a soul?
Oh,
Gooch
that's
slams his book closed. Interesting question.
Anastasia stands up and starts leaving the room.
No, we're going to need you, Anastasia. You're not going anywhere.
Oh no, please, not again.
You're the only other religious person here, so I would like to talk to both.
I mean, it's like a thing that you shove into a body. Yes,
Shove it into a body. I see.
but it's like it happens before you're born.
So then, what are you without a soul?
Dead,
From a
probably.
purely academic standpoint, a corpse.
What if
Most religions agree. Dead.
you were alive without a soul?
I'm not sure that's possible. There would.
I'm alive, but I'm dead.
As far as my studies into the arcane, it seems like there are magics that interact with the soul in some way. Sometimes it harms the soul, like sort of a harmful necrotic touch. But other times it can heal the soul, even restore the soul in some ways. But it's like your body is a reflection of your soul, and when you can heal the soul, you can heal the body. And without a soul, well, I don't see how the body could be affected at all. There would have to be some sort of a stand-in, a replacement.
Yeah, like they shove something else in there instead of a soul.
So,
Like if you were to die right now and I were to cast Revivify on you, it would just be me shoving the same soul back into your already autonomously body.
Right, like, so, have you heard of the astral plane?
no.
It's rather interesting, that one. That's the
Well-
one thing I'll give to him.
I was, when you die, where do you go?
Well,
Where do Torm worshippers end up?
I don't know, in his courts, I imagine. I'm not sure.
Well, we can all agree that there's not a doorway that leads to Torm's courts, right? You can't just walk there.
That makes sense, yes.
So it's like another existence. And our soul is the part of us that can travel from one plane of existence to another. So when you die, your soul is leaving this plane of existence and going to the courts of Torm. And, you know, like when you cast Revivify, your soul goes to the courts of Torm,
And
then
I pull
journeys
it out.
back to your body. Yes, you put the soul back in the body. That's what brings you back to life. And so, I suppose it's sort of like it's the part of us that can go beyond where our bodies can go.
So, do you remember that cave we were in with the people dressed like Jane?
Yes.
Yes.
And they began to move around again.
Those didn't have souls.
Right, so what is controlling them then?
Well,
A
that's what I was
necromancer.
sort of saying by saying that there's some sort of replacement, a facsimile of a soul.
They
And in
replaced-
this case,
Instead of having a soul in the dead body, they put necrotic magic in there.
yes,
not the-
precisely, Anastasia.
It's not the same. Ask Scooch about. Don't ask Scooch about it.
Well, then, what thoughts and memories and person is in that person? The old person? A phase or a shadow of that person? Or is it a different person's entirely?
I think it depends on situation.
I agree. There have been some studies that show that our bodies actually contain some form of memory, of skills and abilities and tasks.
Like
And
I
there have
assume.
been instances of druids and other sort of magic users that have been able to actually create a new body for a dead soul and bring that soul into this new body. And even though the person was alive, their skill sets and their strengths and their abilities were completely different. And well, so some of us is in our body, but the really important parts, it seems, the people we care about, the memories that we have of the fondnesses that we have for certain people, places, and things, I guess the things that are intangible, those parts are attached to our soul, and without them, they just sort of disappear. That's why the undead are the way that they are. They're not people, because they have no souls. They don't care about anything other than what their body tells them to.
So you're saying they are memories of themselves with less control?
Something like that, yes. And, well, I do believe that there might be a way to sort of, I don't know. The undead is tricky. If you've, there've been people who have tried to bring back someone that was raised to undeath, and it's like there's a disconnect, something that's blocking the soul from getting back. But I do believe that it is possible. I wholeheartedly believe in the ability for magic to accomplish anything. And with enough study, I believe that a soul can be restored. But I don't know how.
What kind of magic would one need to restore this soul?
A
Well, as far as I
cleric.
can tell at this point, you would just have to wish and hope and see if the arcane weave responds.
Having a cleric helps.
Indeed. Well,
We're really good at just back right into a body.
this has helped quite a bit. Anyway, let's to breakfast. I think it's too much thinking in the morning.
Why were you asking though? I'm curious.
Yes, that is an excellent point, Anastasia. Why do you want to know?
Had a bit of a strange dream last night. Anyway, breakfast.
All right.
Insight check.
Okay, deception and insight.
Come on, Thomas. These are your roles. You were made for them.
Deception
Well.
is a few I'm not very good at. I do still have a +6, which makes it a 16.
Disgusting. I would have.
You outrolled me for sure.
I assume you did not actually beat a 16?
No, I just rolled a 12, and that's like a natural. Like I just have a +0.
Gotcha.
I have a +8 to insight.
Bruh.
It's a shame you didn't want to read them.
I know, I don't care that much.
I love that Anastasia's really channeling that, like, feudal Italy, like, Catholic priest vibe. They're like, Father, what about Goddism? I don't know.
The fuck if I know, man.
I don't
You gotta
care.
figure that out for yourself, dude.
I don't care. Have you paid us any money recently?
How much do I know about Anaya's situation? Like, would I be able to put 2 and 2 together that that's what Thomas was asking about?
Because you two did talk, and I'm trying to remember all the way back to when you two talked to know exactly what she told you about
This bitch ain't
her
got a
papers
soul.
in the stone. Because I know she told Jane she died. And I'm trying to remember if she told you she died.
Remember.
I don't think so. I think you just told me that you weren't a cleric and that you were a servant of the Queen of Air and Darkness.
Okay.
Okay.
So I don't think I know that you died.
So I think, I mean, being a smart person, you probably have your suspicions, but you definitely don't have any true confirmation. Like, for Thomas to come out of the blue with this question, you probably can imagine it relates to that. Either that, or you think he's like jumped the shark about trying to get his parents back.
Why does everyone
I'm trying
want
to
their
decide if
parents
to
back?
say something or not.
My parents are alive. They just don't know who I
I'll
am.
pause on the door handling. I'm about to jovially walk out of your room. Give it a thought for a second.
Well, okay, so I think I'm going to follow you out.
Anastasia's
so
just
that-
like, how many goddamn dead parents do I have to bring back?
All of them. All of them.
You also have Jane's wife, so there's just lots of dead people you need to provide.
Oh, you couldn't do that. It would break me.
The list is extensive.
Anastasia's going to cure all trauma with true resurrection.
Everybody's
That's true.
bitter.
And you did a dead relative, and you did a dead relative, and you did a dead relative.
So I want to catch him in the hallway and just like kind of like grab him by the shoulder and stop him. There's 2 ways that I could do this. I don't know which one I want to do. I think I'm just gonna dive in, go deep, go for it all.
Risk it all.
I want to grab him and wait for him to turn around, and then just we're going to help her.
At that point, you'll see the smile falter quite a bit, and the sadness you haven't ever seen Tomless have, and a bit less lights in the room as well.
Which actually, I guess is a good question. When you woke up this morning, were you still Summer?
Yes, still summer.
Okay, all right, just checking. Just checking.
Because that does change.
deeply
It's not permanent.
I deeply considered if it would change him, but he does feel like the light is what she needs, so he would have thought
Okay.
that. Because I was like, maybe he'll change here, but no.
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
What?
Okay. Just to play devil's advocate, because I'm Anaya. No, but I was gonna say, so I think that summer is like, when I think of summer versus fall, I always thought of fall as like, isn't that like the generosity mindset? Like abundance and generosity and giving?
It's in the book somewhere. Not
Uno
sure.
momento, I have a Mordenkainen's right in front of me.
Thank you. Yeah, because like
Put
I'm
up and read
wondering
them
if,
all off, because maybe
you-
I will change, but I'm thinking the light's gonna
if you
keep me.
feel like Anaya needs the light, that almost speaks more to like fall color. Like you'd maintain kind of like your coloration, but it might get a little bit darker, and it would be like a generosity type light. Do you know what I mean? Does that make sense?
So summer is boldness and aggression and unfettered energy. Spring is cheerfulness and celebration, marked by sorrow's passing.
Definitely not that.
Winter is contemplation and dolor, while the
Good
world
God,
slumbers. And autumn is the season of peace and goodwill.
No, probably not that either.
No?
Honestly, the winter one sounds the most to me, because it's like, I'm not looking for peace right now. I'm looking to, I guess, boldly try and fight a god, more or less. I mean, like, the thinking one, like, winter is almost true, but I don't think he would go full winter. Definitely not spring. I guess fall was the option that I was thinking of, but I'm thinking he's gonna stay
So for example, to further break it down, the personality traits they have tuned into them. Autumn has the ones of if someone is in need, I will never withhold aid. Autumn is also trusting others without a second thought.
What is summer? Out of curiosity.
Let's see. You believe the confrontation solves problems. Overwhelming force will accomplish anything. It does have you stand tall and strong, so others can lean on you. So you could
Damn,
argue.
that is so close. I really did think about it for a while too, but I think at least for now he will stay summer. It might be a change that comes. But you do see a sadness. His smile breaks, and a sadness you see that he can't hide, and just the light that's shining that usually shines through him always is dim. I thank you for saying so, Scooch. But yes, we will save her.
Yes. Well, now the question is just how, I suppose. Like I said, I do believe in the power of magic to accomplish all things. If there's a way to do it, I will find it. You're not the only one who cares for her now. We all do.
It's true.
And will not see her fall into darkness. I think she thinks it's the only way. But there is another. What I said before about the undead and having something replace the soul, I don't think that that's what's happened to her. I think her soul is there. It's active. She's still Anaya. But it's like it's been dimmed. It's caged. It doesn't belong to her. And I think with a powerful enough magic, we could free her. Or brighten the light. I don't understand it, but I will. I promise.
I'm gonna pull Scooch in for a hug.
He will like.
Oh god.
My mother always told me to be her light, so I will continue to try to shine that light onto her. And then
Oh, that's so mean.
I'm gonna turn and actually go to breakfast now.
Okay. And so everyone else is headed down to breakfast?
Sure am.
Yes.
If I bump into Anaya on the way, I'm just going to quickly whisper that the deed is done.
Well, if you bump
Yeah, how is she
into
looking?
Like... Yeah. Okay. So
That's a
the
good
first-
question.
Yeah, the first property of the Night Diamond. You are perpetually shrouded by a dark aura that makes you heavily obscured, but does not impair your own vision. So I'm basically a walking shadow now.
Oh.
Yeah.
With your eyes of horror. Don't forget that for your
Well, the
background.
diamond has no, I'm carrying the diamond, but
No, your background. Your eyes are just full of horror. You're now just a shadow of horror.
Oh, yeah, my eyes were always haunted one eyes. Like, I have the haunted one trait. So, it's basically like a shadow, and if you were to see my eyes, it look like probably extra haunted by now after the night that I just went through. But yeah, so I am. It says any light source you enter within 5 feet of you can suppress the shroud. Or still, am I suppressing the light
No,
source?
yeah, like basically you can turn off the lights around you. You can literally pull out the lights. But that's by choice. You can
Yeah.
opt not to.
Can she
Yeah.
pull out my light? Is the real question.
Yeah. So Anaya's gonna like go downstairs. Well, the shadow that is now Anaya is gonna go downstairs. And if Jane, if you see that, you can act as you wish.
So I'm going to look at you, and I'm going to try. Oh, well, I probably would have gone to the room to like check if he hasn't already gone downstairs. But far be it from me to tell you what to do with your life, but walking around like whatever the hell this is probably up there with some of the shitter ideas I've ever seen.
I don't think I
You
can
know
turn
how
that
to.
off. Can I?
You can dim it. It's basically a subconscious there, but yeah, I would say you can avoid being perpetually swirling blackness around you.
That like, these
I would-
sounds
I
are
would
happening.
either-
Like
I would either
Satan
greatly
is being
suppress.
summoned.
Either greatly suppress that or disguise yourself to look like a person. Just an idea, maybe. I don't know. Taking advice
He's
from
gonna, like,
one such as myself, who
darkness
is also
dim.
persona non grata.
Well, he's gonna see the darkness dim, and as it does, he'll notice Anaya's eyes are rolling very dramatically.
Anastasia walks downstairs, sees Shadow Naya, and goes, ugh.
I mean, all I'm saying is, take it from also persona non grata. You kind of have to cover it a bit, otherwise you're dumb.
I mean, I did dim it. Like, it is like.
Yeah.
That's fine. That's just if I
Maybe
see you
like,
walking around as an
I
actual
imagine, like,
shadow.
if you look at her, there's like a slight fuzzy, dark outline around her features, but it's not particularly obvious anymore. Like, she's not just a walking, swirling, screaming shadow.
Also, I do know you've got mask of many faces, so it's like you can just go, yeah, I look like Jeff or whatever you want.
Yeah, but she really doesn't want to. Well, she really doesn't want to.
Fair enough.
Thomas is gonna look up for a half glance at Anaya, give another half glance to Scooch, and then continue to eat his food.
I'm gonna sit down right next to Tomalus.
Okay.
If I can, I will sit down right next to Anaya.
Okay.
So you're sandwiched.
And so with everyone just kind of scooting in real cozy like.
Anastasia just gets her food and moves to another table, like, bye.
And I also add 1 level of exhaustion because you did not go to bed.
Oh, fuck. I'll find it. Conditions.
And with that, though, as everyone enjoys their breakfast and sits down real cozy like, we're going to take our break. And we'll come back to this awkward breakfast after the break.
Is that Grim Reaper?
Are we done? Are we breaking? Are we broken?
We're in the process of doing it now.
Okay.
So if you're watching, please stick around. We will be back shortly for more of this super heavy conversation, interspersed with bad jokes. You can expect lots of this.
My jokes are amazing.
Follow, sub. Give me your money.
We'll be back here in about 15 minutes. Please stick around.
Give me your money.
find out.
Good mood.
And we are back. So if you're stuck with us, thank you. If you're new, welcome. As we are getting back to the game, the party had a whole lot of deep introspection, almost across the board this past evening. I don't really know how to recap this since I was like 5% of what happened.
The party asks the big questions.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's lots of big questions. But after your long rest, you have all gathered for breakfast. And before we get into whatever's going to happen at breakfast, can I get Anaya to also roll me a percentile die, please?
A what?
Percentile. So it's a D100 if you're doing it on D&D Beyond.
Oh, okay.
If not, it's like a D10 with the extra numbers and a normal D10 together.
Yeah.
I clicked. I heard of no. Oh, it's going. It's lagging. It's roll lagging. It's actually like the roll lagged.
Oh.
25.
25.
There it is.
Okay. Okay. You're having breakfast.
Dear God.
I hate it.
We're back to the wisdom check, but it's worse.
Percentile die is intimidating.
So on that note, Scooch will bust out a piece of parchment and a quill sitting next to Anaya and just say, Anaya, can you describe to me how you're feeling?
DM, is there any? Do I feel any different besides more powerful?
You feel very much like yourself.
I feel like you're sitting too close to me.
Yes, well, I assure you it is only for the time being, strictly professional. No negative effects, no sort of queasiness or...
Some from physical closeness.
He scoots a little closer. Sorry about that.
Love it.
Everything seems to be in working order. Your magics are tip-top shape.
Oh my god, I just had the grossest thought. But honestly, I feel like Anaya would be like, do you need to check on my bowel movement? Like, just like really implying like, hey, could you not?
Are there any irregularities in your bowel movements?
You can punch him, he'll be fine.
I think I'll leave that to you to go check on.
Well, if you notice anything out of sorts, anything, even if it feels insignificant, please let me know.
I will inform you, as will my brother. He may be more aware than I am.
Well, maybe so. And he kind of gets up and like writes a couple things as he's walking away, folds it up, sticks it in a book, puts it back in his room.
And Anaya picks up Arl and plops her on the seat next to her where Scooch just was.
Well, so I guess the plan is to find what's his face. So Shat, what was it again?
Shan?
Yes, Lord Shan. And have him teleport us to Boldea, Royd, if it were.
Yes. That is the exact plan.
He is one option.
Or we can get the head mech, whoever. I don't mind who. We just need a magical practitioner powerful enough and with the education to send us to that zone.
We could just go back to school.
Yeah, that's an option. But I mean, there is guaranteed to be a mage there, so maybe we should just do that. And you also might be able to. Oh no, you've already sent the list to him. I don't know about
Is
that.
there guaranteed to be a mage there? You saw all of the mages in the palace last evening.
Fine, let's go back to the palace then, and we'll find someone there. I'm just going to shout mage until someone appears. I'm joking. I'm not doing that.
Mage!
I was like,
Mage of some variety, come here. Any cultists would like to reveal themselves, please step onto the end of this sword. Thank you.
So you're all making your way to the palace?
Yes.
Okay. Along the way, you can see periodically large groups of people in chains being moved places. The people in chains seem to range from rather important-looking individuals in fine clothing to commoners.
Recognize any of them?
Make a perception check.
Oh, yes, what a roll. Godlike. He said sarcastically. That is an 8.
No one
I managed
seems
to use my eyes.
familiar to you. But you're all able to wend your way through the streets up to the palace. The
While we
guards.
see them, actually, are they being escorted by guards?
Yes.
I'm going to walk up to one of the guards quickly and say, cultist suspects or just rioters?
Said, well, that we are currently taking all people of suspect into custody for extensive questioning to avoid taking any chances.
Sensible. Thank you. And I'll walk off.
All right. When you wind your way up to the palace, guards at first move to stop you, and then kind of look at each of you in turn. And one was like, I think they're safe to pass," and they part and allow you to enter into the palace proper. As you step inside, you're greeted by Sir Eddard. He goes, you're still here.
Yeah.
Yes, we need to avail ourselves.
That's right. It is.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, I feel like
That
that's
Drinker
safe.
monster hit me harder than I thought it would. Shit hits different.
I really desperately need us all to bring in new characters now when we're all gunslingers and just walk in and they'll be like, "Oh, you're here?" I'll be like, "Yeah, still here."
Oh yeah.
It ain't my time.
It's 5 o'clock somewhere.
I heard you were looking for him. Yeah.
So,
If you ask me one question, you're going to have to be introduced to my shooting iron.
did you have further business with the king, or?
No further business with the king, but we do need a mage to teleport us to Royd's teleportation circle, as was promised to us by His Majesty.
Yes, I believe.
We need an Uber home.
I believe word was left that you might be visiting. I'll go see who I can find. He
Thank you.
turns and locates a guard and tells them, and they run off. And he comes back to you as the guard disappears, and he's like, "Well, I cannot thank you enough for what you've done for our kingdom."
Oh,
Don't mention it. I will be returning. I
It's
have
what
unfinished business.
any paladin would do for people in need.
Mossy is my home, so I felt a certain obligation as well.
Oh, you're natives here. Where are you from?
where are we from?
We're from Valley Floor, right?
Yep.
No. Yes, we are. Yeah, okay. Just a bit south of here in Valley Floor.
Oh, a very fine town. I wish I had a chance to visit there more often.
Huh.
Well,
Not
Wormside
much-
Academy is a fine place if you ever make your way down there.
Yeah, well, I don't dabble much with the magics myself. Even
What about hitting people?
I'm very good at that. But even among here, I tend to try and keep both feet on the ground and keep myself sensible.
Well, there's nothing more sensible than the study of magic, but to each their own, I suppose.
After a few moments, 2 guards return, holding a small chest.
Ooh.
Money!
Is this financial compensation?
We want to gift.
But only if it's money.
And following behind them is the woman you saw the previous evening, wearing golden robes, long brown hair, and she
Sorry, which woman? The dragon?
No.
No. She's a mage.
Excuse me,
Julia.
ma'am. What
Julia
kind of
Trish.
wizard? What kind of
Julia?
wizard are you?
Is that what you say? She walks in the room and you just go, "Heck, what kind of wizard are you?"
Yeah.
She looks a bit taken aback and says,
We
I
we have a
specialize
thing going.
I specialize in conjuration magic.
Huh?
So gold for conjuration.
Gold for conjuration.
I
Interesting.
cannot stress. I cannot stress enough that that is not a thing, and that you have invented it. I'm going to sit here and massage my temples while that sinks in, and then we are going to refrain from insulting very important people in this town further.
She's part of the metallic council. They all wear
Oh.
metallic
Exceptions to the rule. I see. Yes,
Yeah.
quite.
She's the exception that proves our rule, Jane.
It's not working. I'm trying to rub it so that you stop being stupid, and it's making you more stupid. Maybe I'm casting magic. I'm gonna stop.
Jane, listen.
She
I'm
says,
listening, but I really wish I wasn't.
I believe that you had requested transport back to Royd.
We did.
Yeah.
I'm here to facilitate with your travel.
Fantastic.
This, and she motions to the chest they're carrying, is our Majesty's way of saying thank you for the services you have provided. I'm supposed to convey that he apologizes. It could not be more, but in these dire times, the coffers may be needed more desperately than ever to facilitate the war effort.
I understand entirely.
How much is in that bitch?
How much
Are you gonna-
money did we make?
Are you going to count
My
it
knee,
now?
please.
Or are you
No.
just gonna take-
Well, we can't count it now, but I want to write it down. Anyway, continue.
Okay, and she says, well, then I suppose I shall see you off. And she begins preparing within the space a teleportation circle for Royd. Is Scooch once again paying close attention like he was when Shan did it? Are you okay? So you once again draw the same shape in your book. You are definitely having that one pattern burned into your mind when you learn that spell.
What level is teleportation? 6?
A 5.
Yeah, I think it was.
I'm gonna know that spell soon. Don't you worry about it.
And you now at least have one definite place you can get back to. So, when she finally completes it, before she puts the last mark, she asks, are you all prepared?
Yes, make
yeah.
sure we put the chest in the bag of holding. We're not leaving
Like,
it behind.
I can't put the chest in there, but I can start to just pour the gold. If someone wants to get the other tip, we can just
Okay,
funnel
fine.
it
Just
in there.
carry it. I mean,
Yeah, we
you
could
have-
just carry it.
I'm going to pick it up. I'll carry it. We'll sort it out when we're on the other side. Yes, we're fine. Thank you.
All right, she says, and please convey to the princess and his majesty that King Jester has promised that the first soldiers should be able to arrive within the next 2 days.
2 days.
To support his efforts.
Yeah, I guess.
Very good.
Okay. With that, she places the last mark. The runes light up and flare into light, filling the area with a shroud of
As it
magic.
happens, I'm going to quickly reach into my pocket. I've got the royal signet. I put it in her hand and I go, that's for the king, by the way. And then I walk through the teleportation.
She looks shocked and for a moment horrified at what nearly occurred as you run through the.
To meet you.
That'd be bad.
I made a direct promise to a king and I nearly forgot. Good lord.
That'd have been good.
I literally told him I'd give it him straight back and almost
Man,
took
we
it.
could have committed so much treason.
I mean, sometimes you gotta commit a bit of treason. It's
Sometimes you need to commit a lot of treason.
I mean, between all the getting exploded by a dragon and getting an item from a literal godlike being, I forgot about the stupid ring. Sorry.
Almost.
So, you all appear back in the familiar space within the tower within Royd. Again, you see two familiar guards who immediately draw their weapons. You come in, then stop, look at all of you again, redraw their weapons, and kind of do a, oh, it's you guys type reaction. And then just
Saw,
knock on
dudes.
the door.
I'm gonna, as soon as we stop, I'm just gonna, right, should we do the chest now? Because I don't want to carry this thing. And I'm gonna look at the guards and say, have you ever seen a chest full of money? Because you're about to. It's quite fun.
I'm just gonna take the bag and like you know how you get a fish out of like a fish tank and you like go like this back and forth. I'm just gonna be doing that with the bag, filling it with the money.
How
Except
much
we
money?
don't have a party fund.
It is 2,500 gold.
2,500. I'm just gonna write that down for now. We'll split it up in a second when it makes
I mean,
sense.
It's
500.
500 each.
500.
It's 500 each. It's
Yeah.
okay.
Now,
Yeah,
and then
just
we
put
don't.
500 each in your things then. Easier.
I don't know why I thought I was gonna hit the arrow button 500 times, but I'm definitely not.
I
I've
commend
saved
that diligence.
so much of the money that I've gotten. I'm loaded. I
Same.
have
Have.
500 gold.
How much gold do you have?
What?
6,500 gold.
Oh yeah, I forgot to spend a bunch of gold to not die and up my AC.
Yeah, you guys spent a lot of money. I did not spend very much at all. Like,
I
I'm
only spent
rolling.
1,500, so.
Yeah, I've got 4 grand.
I like that. You have how much? Oh, right. I spent a lot to not die.
I've spent a lot on this really cool cape
Cloak
that I'm
that you
wearing. too.
haven't
Isn't these
attuned to?
weeds? No, it's
I
attuned.
Look, you should be an autumn elf. You have a leaf coat.
I'm gonna give each
Option.
guard. I'm gonna give each guard 5 gold because they literally watch us get a chest full of gold, empty it, like stuff it all in our pockets and shit.
So
And they
there's
just
actually 3 guards, because when I saw you and knocked and you were like, have you guys ever seen gold? The door opened and another guard just kind of stood there very confused at the fact
Alright.
that the teleportation circle had 5 of you busy counting
Alright.
out rolls
Well,
and
They
dividing
get,
up
they get taken
files.
5 gold each. I'm just gonna. I couldn't leave you out. So
Oh, I could.
yeah.
Yes.
Well,
Good
they
indeed.
are very appreciative.
That's
Yeah,
like a salary for them.
Yeah, I know.
The man opened the door and goes, I presume you wish to see His Majesty or Lord
Yes,
Ludwig?
please. The king would be good. We'd like a status update on things, and we have a message for him.
Were those people that they sent to Moss a while back? With the princess? If you know who we are, you know, we're kind of heroes
yeah,
of the realm. That kind of
They
thing.
knew who you were. That's why they immediately opened the door.
How is the princess actually?
Oh my god.
She is well.
It's good. Just wanted to make sure she made it back okay.
Yes, she returned yesterday.
Simp!
I can't say you're wrong.
I believe that's a dangerous swamp-dwelling creature.
No, he means
Okay,
imp.
confirmed.
Yeah.
So you make your way into the palace and into one of the chambers where you can see Elwyn talking with several important-looking individuals of people that you recognize. You see Ludovic, as well as Lord Ruger.
Oh, nice.
Ola! We have returned.
The princess is not there. When you enter, Elwyn turns and goes, excellent, you have returned safely.
Mm.
Yes, indeed.
Yes, indeed.
Did the princess arrive timely?
She did. I cannot thank you enough for protecting my daughter, as I knew you would.
Of course, we do nothing if not get results. Any news of the current war front? Sorry, before we get into that, message from the king, Jester himself. Expect reinforcements in 2 days, roughly, from Moss.
It's excellent. That is very good news, as we have received word from the front that a hawk has been forced to retreat from the border forts and is currently doing a delaying action to fall back to the city of Armin.
Well, shit.
Jesus, seems like we're losing this war, guys.
From what I understand, as we have received greater intelligence on the enemy, it appears that their numbers have been greatly bolstered by countless numbers of orcs and goblins that seem to actually be coming up out of the wild and down from the hills and continually joining and aiding with the forces of Marmo.
It'll be that bloody crown thing again. Oh no, they're annoying.
What did we do with that crown?
I gave it to Elwin. He has it.
Bonsoir, can we have the crown back?
Because he gave it to Ludovic to be studied and to tell us what it was.
Does Ludovic still have it, or have they
No,
lost it?
I
Or is
gave
there
it to
another one?
Hawk. I gave it to Hawk because it was in a box bearing his
Oh,
crest.
fine.
He said
Yeah.
he'd see to it that it was investigated. So, you know, and
Hopefully he's still doing that.
Well, I mean, right now he's getting his ass kicked, so I don't think he's doing a whole bunch of anything.
True.
No.
Your lover's
there
gonna die.
Listen.
Is there anything we can do to render assistance or aid in this war and strike a decisive blow for the better, or do you not need us yet?
Well, we are.
Anaya's gonna clear her throat. Just
I'm
like,
practically
as
a tiny
reminder.
god.
I says, well, we are actually preparing to marshal our forces to go and make what stand we can in Armin. We planned to leave within the next 3 to 4 days, and so it is good timing that we will have the reinforcements from Moss before that time.
Armin. That's where that is.
Not
Um,
where
quickly.
we go.
Here, out of character question for a second. You guys want to try and meet him there in Armin in 4 days?
Yes, I do. But how quickly can we get to... Where's Armin?
It's through the forests and over the mountains. To grandmother's house we go from Novice.
Man, I have to buy another dog to go through that forest.
So,
Definitely have to buy another dog.
if you were to leap there and walk back, you could do that in 4 days. You would not have enough time to walk there and walk back.
Yeah, well,
Okay.
we're not planning to walk there. So, I mean, if it can be done that way, then we should do it that way. But if not, I feel like a huge battle that we can decide the fate of a war in, and then we can do the visit to the Queen afterwards and entreat with her on stuff.
I'm thinking we should go to Novice now.
I think that was an out of character, Meg. You don't need to grow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was out of character. I wouldn't actually be talking like grand tactics about.
Because at this point, Tomless is also pushing to go to Novice. He wants to see
Out
what
of character, Anaya is going to Novice. Her next step is to Novice no matter what you guys do.
Yeah, well, if we can do it in 4 days, then
Oh, she's going to Novice, like, tomorrow. Like, as soon as, like...
Yeah.
She's not interested in any battles or wars right now. Like, she doesn't care about that. Like, she needs to go see her queen.
Well,
Queen shit.
what I forget, his name just flew out of my brain. The king?
Elwin.
Elwin? King Elwin. Actually, we were wondering if we could be sent to, well, as near Novice as we could get, as we have some business to take care of there first, and then hopefully we could then potentially meet up with you in Armin to aid in battle if we can.
What sort of business do you have in Novice? Is it something important?
Yes.
I believe of the utmost importance, yes.
He kind of looks as if hoping you'll tell him more.
We've
It's
got.
possible we might be able to find something that could assist us there. We just need to ascertain it. It's worth taking the risk on. And also, obviously I know you can be trusted, but we don't know how many ears there are in here that perhaps having just dealt with, naughty
An
cults,
insurgency.
yeah, that maybe it's best you just trust us on this one. We haven't
Please.
done this service before.
He looks over all of you and turns his gaze back to Tomalus, and then goes, "Very well. If you believe it is important, then I will trust that it is of the utmost importance."
I believe it is.
Will you? Will this be long business, or will you be returning quickly?
We should be able to return fairly quickly, I believe, but some searching is probably at hand.
The quicker we get there, the quicker we'll be back.
Says, very well.
Besides,
Ludovic. And whoever goes, yes, Your Majesty. It looks like your services will need to be employed. I apologize if you consider this a lessening of your station, but it seems our esteemed companions here believe that there is some assistance that we are unaware of available in Novice. I would see that you take them there, and provided they are not too long, that you return them hence at the conclusion of their business.
Very generous.
Does that
Is he
mean
coming
Ludovic
with
is
us?
coming with us?
That would seem to be what is being implied.
I do not.
Alright, show of hands who still thinks Ludovic's evil. Anyone? Anyone? Who else gives it? Yeah, that's what I
I don't even think it. No, I think that would
Ludovic
be
on the suspicion table for the third time.
that would be beyond helpful. We thank you humbly.
so we're ditching this guy when we get there, right?
Well, we're
I
not
don't-
taking him to see the Queen of Air and Darkness.
No, but I might not be going to meet the Queen of Air and Darkness either. So
Where the
I
fuck are you going?
I might just be able to stay with the mage and wait for you.
No.
So are you departing immediately, or should we
We
wait for you
definitely
to make
will.
arrangements?
Nope, immediately would be best.
I'm feeling fresh.
Fresh to death.
It's almost like we
Alright.
just woke up, had breakfast, and then came home.
Well, Anaya didn't just wake up, but she's like pushing through.
And I
Well,
had
that's
this
All right.
managed so much.
Then Ludovic asks all of you to hold hands.
Okay.
Are we going to hold hands and sing Kumbaya in a circle?
Or we're holding hands. Sorry. Okay.
Okay,
Grab off screen of your. I can't.
So,
I'm not.
you guys,
I'm not lifting my arm. Sorry.
Oh,
That's
fair.
that arm's not going
you
anywhere.
guys hold hands.
Vaccine arm.
Ludovic begins chanting the words of arcane power, and then suddenly there is a sensation of like being pulled forward as the view within the chamber disappears, and you find yourselves standing in what looks to be a field just off the road with a small town looming ahead of you, forest way off in the distance.
Where are
We'll
we?
have some sort of long-lasting effects if we keep doing it.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll just be able to teleport, Scooch.
Nope.
I said maybe we will, not maybe we can. Right?
Nope.
Oh my god, Scooch.
We
You're
weren't holding
acting-
hands, Scooch. Try again.
Oh, sorry. Oh.
I'm surrounded by idiots.
As well. So,
There's a loud
how long will your business here be?
Like a day or two, probably. I don't know, maybe 3. Maybe
My hope
7.
is that this business is going to be a single conversation, but you never
Yes.
This is very well. I will wait in the Imperial Ledger.
Do we have to go into the forest?
Which town are we outside of, by the way?
Novice.
Okay.
Oh. Do we have to go?
We will be sure to be there post haste as soon as we are done with everything.
The Imperial
Must do.
Ledger.
He says, if I have not seen you by nightfall, I am returning to His Majesty.
Oh
Well,
wow.
we better get a move on.
Could you potentially wait one more day?
Could you potentially wait like till tomorrow at like sunrise? We didn't say it was going to be a short ass conversation, sir.
Well, actually, he was told it was going to be a short-ass conversation. But
No. He said it would be one conversation.
Make a persuasion check.
Which one of us? I asked for 2 days. She asked for
Who-
9.
Whoever's asking you to get him to stay till morning.
16.
Okay. He says, very well. First light.
Thank you, Ludovic.
Thanks, dude.
We
Who knows
better
if we're gonna make it.
move right
So are
now.
you,
Forward, Anaya.
so you're making your way into town?
I think so, yes, because the only information that I have, from staff, is that we're looking for the House of Dwomer, which is near the town of Novice. It's an ancient site.
Why
Which is
not
not
ask?
in Novice, it's just nearby. So I think asking the people in town would be our best bet.
Have we been to Novice before?
You have not. You were in the other town on the edge,
We went
which
to
Aurora.
was
Aurora. That's right.
Yeah,
Aurora.
we went to Allura, I believe. That's who the person that I ended up sending that money to, I believe.
Yes.
We're
Those
with,
potions.
we're with a very powerful, wise mage who knows a lot. Perhaps he's heard of it. We can just ask him. He also knows this place. He just gave us the name of the place he's staying. And he teleported here with impeccable accuracy, which means he knows the place. Because otherwise,
Do we want
mean,
him to know where we're going?
It was a roll, but he did get it right.
yeah, because he's good and he knows what he's doing. I know the mechanics of it. If you don't know, you just go, okay, I'm fucking 500 miles away. Fine.
Okay, yeah, but do we want him to know where we're going?
I
repeat
mean,
that
To
question.
you. This is
I
your
don't.
bag.
No, I do not. I would rather go into town.
If we simply ask him about it, we don't need to tell him why. We just need to tell him we've been told to
Oh,
find.
like the great and powerful, intelligent wizard isn't going to guess why we're casually asking about the House of Dwomer.
Yeah, he's probably highly unlikely to assume you are carrying the artifact of a god, given that there is one and no one knew where it was.
Well, yeah, but like, the House of Dwomer is known to be a meeting place between worlds. Like, if
Yeah.
anybody was going to speak to someone on like another plane or another world, the House
Yeah.
of Dwomer would be a place to start. I do not want him to know this.
So for clarification, it was not a meeting place between worlds. It was a meeting place between the elves.
Oh, between the
and-
elves.
And
Yeah, it's
now.
disused now, so like he would just be like, "What the fuck are you doing?"
Well, he also could say we might be trying to meet with the elves to get elf help.
Yeah.
Um,
We don't even have to lie to him. I guarantee you, he's probably not that bothered. He just wants us to get whatever we've got and go home because he's a pro.
I don't trust him, but
Well, I do.
none of us do.
Ludovic?
He's definitely evil.
He's not. Ludovic, quickly,
no.
have you heard of the
No.
House of... Do you know where it is?
Come on, I said no.
Okay, but I did it. What do you want from me? I gave you a really powerful magic item you can kill us all with. Okay, fine. I won't do it. Retcon. I don't say it.
Okay.
Okay.
To town.
I'm gonna walk into town.
Okay. So you basically all kind of walk into town together because he took off ahead, and then you all kind of followed after as you were like, "No, we're going into town." When you got into town, he kind of turned off to go his way. The first thing you notice about the town is it has like a very melancholy vibe to it. It seems very quiet, very subdued. And the first thing of note you see is that posted up periodically are lots of posters that seem to have been tacked up on shop fronts, on fence posts. They seem quite
What's on the
frequent.
posters?
You're gonna go take a look at some of them?
Mhm.
The first ones you come across seem to be reports of missing children.
Oh, yikes.
Oh, the Fae been busy in this town.
Okay. So I'm going. Is there anyone like in the street?
Make a perception check.
18.
Okay. You do manage to see someone who seems to be kind of like bundled up, and they're carrying carrying a load with them as they just seem to be kind of trying to make their way down the street. Very much looks to be wanting not to draw attention to themselves.
Okay, I'm just gonna stride right up to them.
Okay.
Excuse me.
The person stops panicked and goes, "Yes."
My brother and I wish to pay respects to our parents and our lineage. Would you be able to direct us to the House of Dwemer?
Yes. I don't know its exact location, but it's down by the forest edge, I believe. No one goes there anymore. It's a ruin.
A
Well,
ruin
yes.
still houses the memory of our dead parents.
Elves,
Sorry.
you see. It's the ears.
Sorry.
Yeah. And as she says that, I think Anaya's gonna like tuck some hair behind her ear just so she makes sure that he like understands what she. If the blue skin wasn't enough, like paying
The
respect to our
shining
dead
light.
parents.
I say sorry.
That's fine. She's gonna try to be like that's her best attempt at being friendly. And then she's gonna turn and start walking in the direction that he said.
Okay.
We just like follow a road. Well, all right.
So you continue making your way through town. As I said, you see the posters are very prominent. Most of them seem like they've been there a while. Some have kind of ripped and torn.
Yeah.
You
Okay.
make your way through town. As I said, still very few people ever out on the streets. I don't think I have a better sounding for this because this busy street is not accurate. Where did my thing go?
Busy street.
We'll just go with that for now. Yeah, so you make your way through town. As you reach the far side of town, you can see the forest up ahead, kind of like maybe a football field's distance away from the edge of town. You can see the edge of the tree line. Make another perception check.
Sure. Ooh, that one's worse. 8.
Okay. You
Can
don't
I be
see it.
helping her?
Sure. Give her advantage. So roll again, Meg.
16.
Okay.
Thank you, Thomas.
You're welcome.
Like, oh man, I don't know where it is. Tom's like, what about over there?
Feels like it's this way.
You look and you can see where the forest kind of like curves around to the east where it heads towards the mountains. And you can see that there is something over that way near the forest edge. Kind of a good 300-400 feet off. It looks like it was probably once a massive structure. Now it looks kind of middle-sized, very much blends in with the surroundings due to vines and grass.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna walk over to that.
Okay. As you make your way closer and get up, you can see that this is once. You can tell as you get closer, it was once a very impressive structure. Looks like it was built to be kind of like a long corridor, which had one end right up against the forest and one end up in a field, but now much of it has fallen apart. There are large openings along the side that some are now just open, peering inside. Some still have half existing stained glass frescoes depicting forest and wind. As you get closer, you can hear laughter.
Okay, I'm going to walk towards the in the direction of the laughter.
I'm gonna put my hand on her shoulder. Sister, just be careful. And I think I have a spell that I can cast.
What you preparing, Scooch? I see you ready to chime in.
I see the.
Is she the only one that hears the laughter?
No, you all hear the laughter.
What sort of laughter is it?
It sounds like a man's laughter.
Like a sinister laughter or like a jovial laughter?
Like a jovial laugh.
Okay.
Okay, wait. Can I want to cast Speak to Animals,
Okay.
and I want to ask Arl if she smells anything familiar.
Okay.
Also,
What
I'm
is
going to be
Thomas
casting
at the same time.
Enhance Ability to give you Eagle's Splendor. You have advantage on Charisma checks.
Thank you.
I'm gonna cast Protection from Evil and Good on Anaya as well.
What if she is evil?
Yeah, right.
It's protection
Favor
from evil
herself.
and good, so...
Then I can't touch her. No, I'm just kidding.
I am curious.
About.
I just want to double check something about that spell. Just
Speak with
double
animals?
check. No, the protection from evil and good. Da, da, da. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Mass spell casting occurs.
This reminds me of the scene in Space Jam where everybody puts their hand on the basketball, but Anaya's the basketball.
I haven't seen it, but that's kind of funny.
It's a great movie. Lola Bunny did things to me. I'm a different person now.
I know who that is.
I know who
Same.
that is.
Don't we all?
So you ask Arl if she smells anything familiar, and she says, yes. Yes, I do.
Would it be the man that we met long ago that picked you up?
Yes.
Is there anyone else?
Yes.
Who?
I don't know them, but they're from our home.
Thank you. Okay, that's all I need to know. And then I'm going to turn and I'm going to look at everyone. There was a man who was permitted to pick up Arl, and I believe he was sent by my patron. He is the one I have come here to meet, but according to Arl, there are more Fae inside.
So should
Well-
we go in?
I guess we just must have our wits about us, I guess.
All I do as a precaution, just because I don't want this to be an ambush, is my left hand goes to the hilt of my blade, and my thumb goes against it and pushes it forward, and that's
Okay.
all.
Gonna cast Mage Armor as well.
More spell casting. Let me just cast it on everybody real quick.
Okay, so I'm gonna start walking up and make sure that Arl is like directly by my side.
All right. So are you like making your way around to where the door would be? Are you just looking for a gap to come in through because some of the walls have collapsed, or are you
No,
just
I'm gonna
climbing
look for
through
the
a
door.
window?
I want to make like a formal entrance.
Okay. So
That
so
would
you
be
guys
my
walk
respect
around
to the place.
to where the entrance would have been.
Mm-hmm.
When you walk in and look inside, the chamber clearly would have been very grand once upon a time, but it still has a very austere feeling as the vines have kind of climbed up what stonework is still there. Some of the roof is still intact way above.
Mm-hmm.
You can see way up ahead, in what would have been the center of the chamber, a very large table that seems to have collapsed on itself and is just kind of sitting as wreckage in the middle. Sitting on one edge of the table is looks like a man. He has blue hair and is wearing a cloak.
Do I recognize this man?
You do, and he seems to be smiling and looking quite pleased with himself. Standing off to his side, against the wall, is a female figure. Looks to be about 11 feet tall.
Jesus Christ.
Oh my god!
She
It's the
is
vampire
wearing,
from Evil.
Step on me, mom!
she is wearing armor. She is also wearing a cloak, and it has the weird effect that when you see the outside of the cloak, it just appears to be a dark blue similar to his. But every now and then when you see the inside seam, it almost looks like a planar scape that is actually moving and shifting within the cloak.
I want that cloak. We should kill that. Apparently I'm gonna collect cloaks at this point.
I am going to walk forward, up to him. Charvel Perun, don't look so pleased with yourself.
As you walk forward and begin to speak, he turns, looks at you, and almost immediately, without missing a beat, the laughter disappears, but then he smiles, and you see he kind of like is rubbing his hands as he then puts them down and walks towards you.
Okay.
I'm gonna put my hand on my hilt.
He goes, I was wondering when you would come to visit me. It is awfully boring here.
Were you just waiting for me?
Why, yes. I told you to seek me out. I would be a most disingenuous host if I was not here when you came calling.
And who is your other... Oh, she's gonna do a long pause and like look the 11-foot tall woman up and down. Guest?
He goes, oh, servants. One can never be too careful.
Does she look like she's all there?
What do you mean does she look like she's all there? I assume you're not meaning like, ooh, I assume you're meaning like tangible.
No, I mean, like, is she looking like she's being, like, mind-controlled, or, like, does she have, like, a vacant look to her, like...
Oh, look totally, yeah, looks coherent.
Okay.
Okay,
Does
so
she
I'm gonna-
react at all to be called a servant? Like, maybe
Nope.
she's not a servant? Okay.
I was under the impression that our queen was looking for me.
That would be a way of looking at it.
And what would be another way?
See, and I assume you're all behind her?
Yes.
Yeah, and I will be deathly quiet.
Yeah, and close behind her. Close enough that, like, if he looks threatening, and my hand's on my blade, like, it's ready to, like, if he looks like he's gonna hurt my sister, I'm just gonna chop his hand off and it's back in.
Okay. You know, he has a sword, but it's at his side. His hands are not on it. The only thing he seems to have is a rag in his hand.
A rag?
Yeah.
This guy's weird.
I don't like
Oh
this
yeah,
guy.
he's really weird. Yeah,
Him
I
and
met
his-
him before and I was like, I don't know.
Him and his blue hair. He's gonna have to
I
die.
like bluish hair, hey.
Well, your blue hair is pretty. His isn't.
Yes, I must say I expected you to come alone, but I suppose we all must make sacrifices.
And what sacrifice are you expecting here?
Just, I'm not one to presume. But Her Majesty has a vested interest in you, as you are more freely able to wander this realm. And we seek something.
And what would that be?
Oh, a trifling, really. Just a meager jewel.
Is it the jewel we already got?
And what would that jewel be?
Oh, I believe you would simply call it a diamond. It is worthless, really, but Her Majesty values it quite highly and would see it returned to her person.
And what kind of value does she place in this item? Why?
Do you question Her Majesty?
I do.
Well, I can be sure to pass that along. I don't know that she will take kindly to such insubordination, but you do what you feel you must do, and I will do what I must do.
Constant glass smash moment there. I do, you son of a bitch, stunner.
Well, I actually have a question. What does this gem look like?
He doesn't even acknowledge your question and continues to look at Anaya.
Okay, give me a second to collect my thoughts because I had like 6 things that I wanted to say.
I wonder if he can hear me. Do I have to be closer? I'm gonna take a step closer. What does the gem look like?
I
Brother.
think he's doing the ignoring you thing.
Is he a bit of an idiot?
I could ask
Disrespect
you.
us if you like.
What?
You don't have to talk to us. But you
Maybe-
expect her to find a diamond, she needs to know what it looks like.
Maybe
Everyone,
he's
please?
daft.
Everyone, please! And Anaya's like gonna speak up loudly, maybe for the first time you've ever heard, and like that dark shadow is gonna get just a little bit bigger. Not very big, but like you know, like the sheen is gonna kind of expand because she got upset and like kind of let go of it.
Okay.
No, not big, but just like
The horrors are being summoned.
no. But I think he'd see that, and I think that she would like look him directly in the eye as it happens because she knows. I understand that the queen places enormous value in myself and in this artifact, correct?
Artifacts seem such a strong words for such a trifling, and it would seem such a simple task for one of your capabilities.
Fuck this guy.
Perhaps I may speak with Her Majesty myself.
Well, if you so wish to do, I'm sure I could make arrangements to bring you to the court itself. I cannot promise much safety for you and your friends once there, but I can bring you there if you wish.
I have a battle to be at. I will not be going to the unseemly court. Not
Jane, don't be a pussy.
You literally cannot make me. I am not going to the unseemly court. Fuck all of you, I'm not going.
Okay,
Weird.
I'm going to ask him for a moment, like just to hold on a moment, and walk to the far corner of the room with everyone.
We'll
Please
follow you.
take your time. I have all the time in the world. And he makes his way back over towards the table.
Sir, are you aware that
Yeah,
you're really
as an
fucking
aside-
creepy?
Faye are the worst. Anyway.
I'm part Fae now, like I'm essentially one of them.
One of us. One of us.
It seems that the Night Diamond is something that the Queen wishes to reacquire.
Yeah, it does seem to
What
be,
if we
Are
could
we sure this is the same thing? We don't even know what it looks like.
Yeah, it's true. He was a major douche.
He was a bit vague.
I believe he was vague intentionally because he knows something that we're not telling him. He knows that I know what he means.
He knows that I know what he knows.
I mean, he means the Night Diamond. It's a pretty well known artifact of the god. So the unseemly court is yeah. I
I
thought
do not wish to give it to the Queen, but I do not wish to deal with. She's gonna look at him either. I don't trust him.
Well,
I don't trust any of them.
I
It's kind
thought
of
you
just trying
trusted your
Deal
queen.
with them.
I trust my Queen more than I trust him.
Then
He's
why
just a
don't you want
messenger.
to give the queen the diamond?
I'm not saying I don't want to give the Queen the diamond. I want to understand why she needs it, and if she'll let me use it first.
She just said that she trusts the queen more than she trusts him, not that she trusts her entirely.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good point.
Also that, yeah. Like, I want to talk to her and know, like, try to get more
Lovely.
information at the very least.
dear God.
I want to know if love is-
Out of character, dear God, I don't want to go to
Is
the
this a
to the
stupid
court
idea?
either.
Out of
I
character?
want to go talk to her so bad. No.
In
Yeah.
here.
Okay, yes, I want to talk to her really bad because definitely a lot of answers happen there. The chances of us all dying inside of that place and or definitely not getting back in the same time zone are all both very high.
Yeah, we're gonna be
out
like-
of character.
Guys, I'm gonna make an executive decision and you're gonna hate me for it.
Oh dear God, here we go.
Out of character, you guys should not try to stop this, but Anaya is going to go alone.
No.
Yeah, I
He wants to go so bad.
Anaya
Yeah.
is
Out of
pretty
character,
prepared to die already,
Good.
considering what Tomulus would say. Anaya knows the queen, and Anaya doesn't want to factor anyone else into a bargaining. Because if I go down there, I can very much picture the queen saying, if you want the diamond, leave one of your friends. Like, I can picture her striking a shit bargain like that. So
Yeah.
out of character, I'm going alone.
Out of character, good luck convincing Tomulus.
Oh, no.
I mean,
this is-
honestly, good luck convincing Scooch as well, because Scooch has business with the queen.
Wait,
What-
what is it?
Like, given the opportunity, he is going to speak to the queen.
Anaya is going to walk quickly up to Charvel and say,
Well, hold on. While you guys were talking, you were also able to hear a scraping sound, like while you all were talking.
what kind of scraping sound?
It's coming from over where Charvel is.
Can I look and see what it is?
Sure. You can see that he's kind of got a knife out, and he seems to be filling with something in his hands.
Like Wesley.
Kinda. You're
Oh
not quite
God,
sure.
I hate.
Do you want to make
this.
a perception check?
Yes, I do. I don't want to, but I should.
Oh.
Yeah.
Is anybody gonna look with him? Does anybody want to like be peeking over with him for advantage?
Great roll. That is a 19.
Okay.
Oh God,
so
we're
what he
level
ha-
6.
what he has in his hands looks to be like a set of it almost looks like a set of like pan pipes, but with that perception, you can see as he's like kind of scraping away at it, it all appears to be made of really tiny finger bones.
That's why I did a perception check,
Mhm.
because I knew that's what that was going to be. And
Mhm.
yeah, I was like, he's scrimshawing kid bones. Yeah, I thought so.
He's doing
Okay.
what with kid bones? Okay, so out of character, I am not as familiar with this as I should be. Why do they want kid bones?
The Fae are real not good people.
Yeah,
The Fae
he found
like-
it funny.
like children.
They do like to steal children and eat
So,
or kill them.
just so we know what we're talking about. like,
Just for
basically,
shits and gigs.
It's like the Sealy Court, which are like the ha ha ha, we're funny tricks, and they might do some bad stuff. And then there's the Unsealy Court, where it's like ha ha ha, we stole a bunch of children, murdered them, and used their finger bones to make a cool flute. Isn't that fucking hilarious? That's that guy.
Oh, by the way, we replaced all those kids with doppelgangers who are just soulless versions of these kids.
Yeah.
Just to see what happens, because it seems interesting. And that's why I'm like, we're level 6. I don't know how we want to go into the Feywild, but here we are. Let's do it.
Fey wild. Fey wild.
So
As Anaya, I was going to walk up to him very quickly and tell him, like, grab his arm and say, "Take me now, leave them."
If I hear that, I'm running toward them.
So you're going to quickly run up and grab his arm?
Yeah.
Okay.
Does he say roll for initiative? Is that coming
I know,
next?
that's what I'm waiting for. I'm so nervous right now.
Oh no.
Guys, I'm sorry if I just screwed us.
no, literally, I'm so impressed. Anaya has become an actual hero in this moment.
Does
Don't keep going.
the 17 hit you?
Oh dear God.
My AC is 14.
So
Yeah.
yes.
So as you go up, as soon as your hand grabs onto his arm, his hand comes across and slaps you hard across the face.
Okay.
You take 4 bludgeoning damage.
I'm gonna grab
He's gonna
Tomulus's
die.
sword arm. I'm gonna grab Tomulus's sword arm and say, "Brother, steady."
Touch my
Can
sister
I-
again, and you will die.
Can I use my reaction to stop that slap with my arcane ward?
But so the hand just kind of comes up and just like,
Mm-hmm.
I guess so. Oh yeah, because you have cast spells. I was like, what spells do you cast? But you cast protection from good and mage armor, which are both aberrations. So you have some words. So yeah, you can do that as a reaction. It
How
is an
much
attack.
damage was it?
It was 4.
Okay.
Yeet.
So do I not take that?
You don't
You do
take
not
it.
take that damage.
You watch the hand come up at lightning speed and inexplicably like stop like minuscule moments from hitting your face,
Okay.
but it still
So,
passes by.
Standing behind Tomlist, who does look way more intimidating than me and has his sword drawn, Scooch will just say, I would watch your hands if I were you. I don't care who you're a servant of.
And I'm going to look up defiantly at him. She didn't even flinch when he
Right,
went
she
to
didn't.
hit her. She did not flinch.
It never made contact.
But her eyes are going to narrow into defiance, and she's going to look right at him, and she's going to say, take me to the queen, now leave the rest.
Make a persuasion check.
With advantage.
Why is it with
Oh,
advantage?
because any of
spell
my
that I
clues-
cast.
Oh,
yes,
yeah. So yeah.
Which I'm not happy
With
about, but
advantage.
it's the truth.
16.
He eyes you up as you say that. Looks a bit perplexed at what just transpired with the arcane ward. He grabs your wrist like it's something gross to pull it off of him, and lets go, and says, "You don't get to make demands here."
Take me to the queen now, please. And she's going to do like a pseudo curtsy, not breaking eye contact, but it's going to be like that fake shitty politeness that I'm sure all Unseelie Fae are very familiar with.
Shitty politeness. Shitty politeness.
Like, the queen sees value in you, but I'm not so sure of myself anymore.
Let's
You
fight
asked
this
me if
guy! I want to
dare
fight this guy so
question-
bad!
You asked me if I dare question our queen, and now you're saying that you do.
Oh.
Huzzah. But the difference is, if you perish, she'll never know.
Won't she? And I'm going to look over at Arl.
And with that, we're gonna call it for the night.
No! I want to kill this guy so bad! Let me divine smite the motherfucking poop out of this guy!
Dude, Arl was sent to me by the queen, and I maintain that Arl is like her little watchdog. Like, I maintain that Arl has some connection with that queen, and that the queen would absolutely know if I die. I am her instrument in the mortal realm. I am it. She will know.
So, we're gonna take our break there. When we start next week, we'll be rolling initiative.
Yes!
And, yeah.
Fuck him up.
Jane,
Whoa.
you're gonna need to handle the 12-foot lady, because I'm gonna be beating the shit out of this blue-haired motherfucker.
So, Anaya, do you want to remember that you're being protected by protection from evil and good, or should I remember that?
I'm gonna put it on my notepad. Just, guys, remind me to open my notes, because y'all know I won't do it. Okay, so I have protection from evil and good.
If neither one of you remembers, I'll remember.
And Colin, what did you put on me?
Eagle's something or other. Hold on, let me. Eagle's Splendor. It's enhanced ability. It probably won't come into effect because it's
But-
only charisma checks.
Charisma checks with advantage.
But yeah, thank you very much, everyone out there, for watching with us. Sorry, this one's a tad shorter than usual, but I didn't want this to go to like 12:30 or so with like a combat at the end of it. So we'll break here and start off with the ensuing violence. But thank you for bearing with us. If you're interested, there is Dresden tomorrow. We'll be back again next week with this game and another one on Friday with a different campaign. And if so inclined with other video fare, you should check out 31 Gallium or the Ninja Cat 26. Thank you, and have a lovely evening.